is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Hello and welcome, everybody. It is that time again. High school football is live on the Oklahoma Sports Network. It's the 5A state semifinal. The Guthrie Blue Jays, the Newcastle Racers at Putnam City Pirates Stadium in the state capital, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Josh Calloway on hand with you at Putnam City Pirates Stadium. Joined alongside my partner in crime, Billy Collier, Carson Wade on the production. Pleased to be with you for this audio presentation of the 5A semifinals. Billy, it is December football. We are fired up to be here. It's going to be a very fun matchup. The winner gets to the state title game next Saturday night at UCO. This is exciting. This is cool. 5A semifinal matchup. We have a great game. Feels like a total coin flip on paper. This is going to be a good one.
Oh, a great one. I think this is going to match up there with some of the best games they played this year. Guthrie, good team, been in the playoffs several years. They're used to being.
Yeah, been here, done that.
Been here, and I think this is going to be a great game. Two great teams just throwing haymakers all night. We'll see who comes up. Really looking forward to watching the rushing offense of Guthrie against the rush defense of Newcastle. But it's a great night for football.
Chilly. We're in the booth tonight, so we get to stay out of the elements. But it's what you'd expect on a December night in Oklahoma. It's a bit breezy. But, yeah, I mean, two teams, the path here, I mean, for Newcastle, well documented. If you've been with us all season, 1-3 start, 8 straight wins. Guthrie, meanwhile, this was viewed as, at least around the state, probably not within the walls of the Blue Jay program, but around the state was kind of looked at as a down year for Guthrie. Yeah. Oh, they're taking a little bit of a step back from where they usually are, and yet here they are, a game away from getting to the state championship. So it's kind of a fun little kind of contrast in terms of Newcastle. It's kind of this first year in 5A, kind of this, it's felt like a storybook run to this point, whereas Guthrie, it's a little bit business as usual. They've been here, done that, and it's going to be a little bit of a difference tonight, at least from that perspective, for the Guthrie players and their fans and their program. A little more used to this spot, whereas Newcastle, it's all new right now.
It is. It almost feels like Newcastle is the new kid at school.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's kind of watching, see what they're going to do. They're excited for them when they do well, unless you're playing them, of course. And so you're right. And I think Guthrie, they have just been running and gunning in this class for a long time. And so Newcastle coming in a little bit more unknown, I think that will help some tonight. Again, I'm looking forward to one of the best rushing offenses that we've seen all year going against our rushing defense. But it's just a great night, and you're right. We're looking down at people cuddled up. That's when I know it's a good night for football, is when the stocking caps come out and the earmuffs.
It's pretty, yeah.
And so they're doing that down there. We got a lot of fans that came here from Newcastle. I know everybody in town's excited.
Yeah.
And so we're excited as well. I'm ready to get this going. I've been ready since about 8 o'clock this morning to get this going.
It's been a long 2 weeks, too.
Yes.
Obviously, the 5A playoffs had the break in the action last weekend. You need to watch all the other semifinals all across the other classes and all the great matchups. And there's already been some state champions crowned both this afternoon as well as last night at 3A. And it's kind of been like, man, I'm ready to get our game. You know, we've been waiting forever to get back out here. That prior game for Newcastle, which was a thriller at Racer Stadium, feels like months ago.
Exactly,
it was a couple of weeks. And so that's another storyline tonight is for these two teams that were both obviously playing so well to get to this point. The week off, what does that do? Does that add some wrinkles offensively? Is there a little bit of rust early? Do you see some drop passes, some missed tackles that you wouldn't normally after a week off those are all kind of things that we'll have to be watching for in the early part of this game. But it feels like a very evenly matched game on paper. I mean, these two teams have the same record, 9-3. Yep. Newcastle started 1-3, and Guthrie started 1-2. So that's common sense will tell you, doing some quick math there. These two teams have not done a lot of losing over the past 2+ months. It's been a lot of W's for both teams. So excited to see them go toe-to-toe tonight. And one of these teams is going to move on to next week at UCO and get a chance to play for the whole thing.
Well, and they both played Tuttle. And one of the things you got to really look at, Tuttle, that was a rough game for us. Guthrie came out and they scored. It was the first game of the year, so you got to kind of throw that.
That was a great game. I rember a scoreboard watching that one. It was a thriller. Yeah,
right. Yeah, Tuttle won by a touchdown, 31-24. And so they have that one in common. I think the other game that they lost that I would say kind of measures you is that one with Carl Albert, and that's the only loss they had in district. And so that kind of tells you they're not going to back away. They're not going to shrink up and hope big bad Newcastle doesn't come after them.
Sure.
They're ready to play. They're ready to fight, and they're ready to go as well.
Absolutely, and this has got all the makings of a really fun one. We've got the other 5A semifinal also in OSN tonight with Carl Albert and Del City, which is just across town. That game's over at PC North, so right. We'll be peeking in on that one obviously throughout the night. As well as the 6A championship game, which is tonight. My alma mater will also take on Bixby. So it's a loaded night, as you'd expect, this late in the year. All the games are big ones. They're all fun, and we're going to be peaking in. We also have a 4A semi on the OSN tonight as well. So it's a loaded slate, and it's going to be a fun night of high school football. Want to remind you, I'm going to bring this up several times. It's going to be an audio broadcast of the game tonight. So whenever the game kicks off, we won't be able to show you the action. We're going to kick the camera around. It'll be hanging out in the booth with Billy and I. We'll bring you the action, basically radio style, but you'll kind of be hanging out with us in the booth for the normal broadcast of tonight's game. You can mosey on over to the NFHS network. That is a paid subscription stream. We're obviously a free alternative way to keep up with the game and kind of hang out. And we'll be doing this stuff throughout the evening here. And once the game ends, we'll flip the camera back around so you can see some of the post-game reaction, whatever that may be, and we'll cross that bridge later on. But that's kind of what we're going to be doing tonight, so I want to make sure we're all on the same page there, and I will be reminding people throughout the evening because I'm sure there'll be some confusion, people who missed the memo, but that's the way it has to be, unfortunately, this late in the postseason. This is the Countdown to Kickoff, presented by Oklahoma Abstract and Title. Great real estate services from ownership lists, title reports, abstracting, construction binders, owner and mortgagee title insurance, closing coordination, closings, and monitoring delivery dates. Regardless of how complicated or simple your title problem is, they can help. Give them a call, 405-348-8605. So Newcastle Racers pregame show. We'll keep it rolling. We're going to continue to dive into this matchup. We'll look at how we got to this point. We'll also take a peek at the 5A bracket. Also take another glance around the state tonight on what's a loaded night of high school football action. And, of course, continue to set the scene for this 5A semi between Newcastle and Guthrie on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
All right, back here at Putnam City Pirates Stadium, Josh Calloway with you on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Billy Collier here with me in the booth, getting ready for this one. We're about 18 and a half minutes or so from kickoff between Newcastle and Guthrie in the 5A semifinals. The championship game will be next Saturday night, 7 o'clock under the lights at Chad Richardson Stadium in UCO. That's actually going to be the last game of the high school football season next Saturday in Oklahoma. The very last one. 5A. We're at the very tail end next Saturday night, and obviously we hope to be there for you if Newcastle's there. OSN's going to be there either way because Carl Albert and Del City are playing on the other side. So we're going to have representation in that game one way or another, but we're hoping it's an all OSN affair, obviously. And we look forward to that next Saturday night one way or another. But the task at hand, Newcastle and Guthrie, going to be a fun one here. We are fired up for this one. Let's look at the schedule for the season for the Racers to this point. Here's what they've done. We talk about this every week, Billy. Some L's early and then a lot of W's after that, as obviously an undefeated run through district play. Those 2 thrilling wins back-to-back over Lawton MacArthur and Bishop McGuinness. Obviously rolled over Noble in the playoff opener, and then that game 2 weeks ago. You know, I don't want to say I forgot, but kind of getting ready for this game and going back and looking at that prior game, what an unbelievable game that was at the Castle, Gene Reed Field as the Racers. Obviously, the long touchdown of Caden Longman to take the lead, and then the interception by Caden Longman to put the game, or to at least give him a chance to put the game away late in that thrilling win over Pryor. It's been a heck of a season, first year in 5A, 8 straight wins for Newcastle coming into play tonight, Billy, and it's been a heck of a run to this point.
Oh, great run, and you're right. That game 2 weeks ago, I think I experienced all the emotions. You know, it's like, oh, they're going to lose it, and then there they come back, coming back, and everything. And you're right, and I can't say enough about this, and I really got to give it to coaches. I think it clarified the expectations for 5A going that 1-3, going Tuttle, Elgin, and Blanchard. It kind of opened their eyes to some of the expectations, and so I think that probably helped them more than most people would probably think, because I know I was very frustrated with it being 1-3, as everybody was.
Right.
But I think from that point, they've shown that they met the expectations, and you're right, it has been a great year, an exciting year, seeing the people excited, the town excited, of course the players excited. I was talking to a few of them today. They come in here with a lot of confidence, and why wouldn't you?
Right.
You know? So you've won the last 8 games, so you should come in here with a lot of confidence.
Right. No, that Elgin game, which was so tough, and the Owls are playing, obviously, in the 4A semifinals tonight, so not exactly, so a slouch of a team by any means, but that was such a rough night there at Elgin. We were all kind of wondering, where are we going from here? And obviously, Racers haven't lost a game since then. It's been a heck of a season, and we're excited to see if we can keep it going for another week here tonight with the Racers and the Blue Jays. Let's go and take a look at the 5A bracket coming into play tonight as we've whittled it down to just 4. That's all that's left. We're here tonight, Newcastle and Guthrie at Putnam City High School, the home of the Pirates. Just across town, Carl Albert and Del City are playing over at PC North tonight. And, of course, that game is also on OSN. Same situation over there with an audio broadcast. That's both OSN schools, so you could either hang out with Kirk and the Carl Albert broadcast, or you can hang out with John Keelty and the Del City broadcast. Either way, both obviously do a phenomenal job, and we'll hopefully see one of them next Saturday night. But going to be a really fun semi on the other side Billy, there really hasn't been a ton of shockers in this 5A bracket, as it's all one seeds with the exception of Guthrie, who knocked off Booker T last week. So the Blue Jays, they've been the one team that's gone and kind of upset or at least shaken up what would have been, if you want to just chalk it all the way through. But so far, 5A has gone pretty much to form, and we'll see what happens in that Carl Albert Del City game across town. But this 5A bracket, really competitive. This class has been very topsy-turvy, but kind of the usual suspects are still sitting here in the Final Four.
Well, it's going to sound like I'm talking out both sides of my mouth, but it should whet your appetite for this game to know that Guthrie's the only one playing still that beat a number one.
Right.
And so they're no slouch. That should make you excited about this game. But I also think this shows the importance of winning first place in your district. Mm-hmm. To be able to play Guthrie rather than stepping up against Carl Albert or Del City tonight. And so that also shows the importance of that. And you're talking about that Elgin game. That's the same Elgin team that went undefeated last year in districts.
Yeah.
And then lost in the first round of
in 5A. Undefeated in 5A.
Right.
They moved down this year, yeah.
And so that's probably where I was a little discouraged, wondering how are they going to do if they lost like that to Elgin, but they've come back and really knocked it out.
Yeah.
So, again, I can't talk about how much I'm excited about this game. Been texting Gene and Gerald and Boomer and people all day today. Go, man, we got to. When's it going to go? Get the clocks moving. So
yeah, for sure. And obviously, look at what Guthrie's done to get to this point. A very familiar foe in their opener when they took out Lawton MacArthur, and their opener team that we're very familiar with. Obviously, that Newcastle defeated in the regular season in a thriller out there at Cameron. And the Blue Jays then went and knocked off Booker T. So hard to argue anyone has a more impressive first couple of playoff wins than what Guthrie has done, knocking out MacArthur and then going on the road into Tulsa and beating a 1 seed in Booker T. Washington. So it's the Blue Jays team that's playing, kind of like we said about Newcastle playing the best football at the right time. That's definitely the case for Guthrie as well. So we'll see who can maintain it through the break. But this is two teams that have been as piping hot as it gets basically for the last 6-7 weeks plus. And so we'll see what happens when they meet up on the field tonight. Going to be a fun one in this 5A bracket, which has been highly entertaining so far and doesn't figure to slow down with two great semifinals tonight, and both are going to be on OSN. All right, we'll go ahead and step aside one more time. When we come back, Billy and I will dive into this game a little bit further as far as we'll look at the starting lineups for the Racers tonight, and we'll look at some players and names to watch for both Newcastle as well as on the Guthrie side that Billy wanted to highlight as we get ready for this matchup, the Newcastle Racers and the Guthrie Blue Jays, the 5A semifinals. We're getting close. Just a little over 10, 11, 12 minutes or so until kickoff in this 5A semi on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
This back-to-school season, give your home the connection it deserves with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Experience the power of Wi-Fi 6 technology for smoother streaming, gaming, and learning. And with the Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi app, managing your home network is a breeze. Choose from multiple plans with symmetrical speeds for lightning-fast uploads and downloads. Get your family school-ready with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Sign up today at gopioneer.com.
All right, back at Putnam City Pirates Stadium, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We are getting closer to the start of this one, the Newcastle Racers and the Guthrie Blue Jays 5A state semifinal action on OSN here from the state capitol in Oklahoma City. Let's go ahead and look at the starting lineups tonight for the Newcastle Racers, presented by Sooner State Bank. You have many options when it comes to financial institutions. At Sooner State Bank, they pride ourselves on providing the level of service that will exceed your family or business expectations. Stop by one of our branch locations today to talk to our dedicated staff. Sooner State Bank, member FDIC, 212 Wright Street in Newcastle. Let's start offensively as per usual. The quarterback, senior Jackson Shaniels, had a phenomenal senior season. Running back TJ Bradford, obviously the guy that makes it all go. Caden Lallman, the game-winning touchdown and the game-winning interception last week, or 2 weeks ago over Pryor. Rex Heskew, Alex Schumar roll it out in the receiver room. Aiden Elcision, the big tight end. And then the offensive line, which has been playing at a very high level as well. Todd Smith, Garrett Pratt, Jace Ledoux, Cody Nix, and then Blake Allen rounding out on the right side. Billy, where do your eyes go for Newcastle offensively tonight against this Guthrie defense?
Well, I think mine go to Jackson Shaniel, how he's going to do. They've got speed and they've got size, so they're going to have to work some things around. They're going to have to get the ball out of the backfield fast, whether it's a pass, whether it's a handoff. So I'm going to see how his decision-making is. We didn't really see him 2 weeks ago really kind of take the game on his back like we had all season. And so played very smart, I think, and just was not allowed to get out very much.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look and see if there's some improvement with that tonight and being able to make the right decision in the right time.
For sure.
So that's one of the things I'm going to be looking at. And I think TJ Bradford should have a pretty good breakout game as well.
Yeah, the run game, we've talked about it throughout this run, kind of since TJ had those early season injuries, since he came back, it just unlocked the whole offense, what Jackson Shaniel's been doing with his legs as well. It's been something, and that passing game, the run sets up the pass so well for Newcastle, and you saw that last week with the 70-plus yard touchdown that ended up being the game winner to Keenan Lallman. He just leaked back behind the defense. Rex Heskew has been phenomenal in the back half of the season, especially just that safety blanket. It seems like every key down, that's where Jackson Shaniel's looking, and he's been rewarding that all season. So watch for the usual suspects. In a game like this, the usual suspects are where you lean with Bradford, Longman, Heskew, and, of course, Big Jackson Shaniel using his legs as well. Let's look at the defense now for Newcastle. Aiden Elcision on the defensive edge. Other side, Thomas Barbie. Inside, Tosh Smith and Blake Allen. The linebackers, Jackson Shaniel, Tucker Brown, Ian Barker, and Zach Cragg. Trey Burchett in the secondary. And then the corners, Caden Longman and Alec Schumard. Defensively, Billy, obviously last week or 2 weeks ago was one of the first times in quite a while we've really seen this defense get touched up a bit. Pryor was moving the ball up and down. They saw them have a lot of success through the air. You have to imagine that the last 2 weeks there's been a big emphasis on trying to button that up. We know Guthrie's a little more of a run-first team than Pryor was, but at the end of the day, going to need to button that up a little bit because Pryor was able to have great success down the field in the passing game, and thankfully they overcame it. But they'll be looking for a bounce back defensively tonight for what we had a couple weeks ago.
Well, and absolutely, and I think it's going to be such a different game tonight. I mean, Pryor was a pass, throw, and a run. These are going to be a run, throw in the pass. What I'm really going to be looking for is those front seven holding up and a response by the defensive backs and safeties coming up. But at the same time, watching them warm up, it's not like they didn't have an arm. The quarterback could throw it real well. Whoever their quarterback's going to be, we kind of saw two people doing it. But you got Colton Carlock, who is a left-hander. And so that's going to bring some different feel to it as well. Dalen Rice, he was probably throwing the hardest out into the flat and stuff. But you're not going to see a whole lot. They average 70 yards a game passing. And that, if you think about that, total yards 318 and only 70 were passing.
Yeah, that shows you how well they run it and how much they lean on the run. Yeah.
That's right. So that's going to be, and as I mentioned earlier, that's going to be the fun part to me. How is Shanuel and those front seven going to line up and go at the run game of Guthrie? And so that's one of the things I'll be watching.
Like we said, Guthrie 9-3, same record as Newcastle coming into play tonight, coached by Kelly Beebe. 9-3 on the year. They started 1-2, and since the late part of September, they only have one loss, obviously, and that came to Carl Albert at the very beginning of November. It's a team that's playing really well, really good football. They've been really good in the playoffs so far with wins over MacArthur and Booker T. Washington. Anything else from Guthrie you want to throw out there? I mean, this is a really good Blue Jays program, a team that's playing their best football right now going into this semifinal game.
Yeah, no, not a whole lot more. Just expect to see a lot of run, and you're going to see a lot of, if their coach is a lot like Brickman, you're going to see a lot of adjustments being made with the run game and the run stopping. So
it's going to be a fun matchup. We're excited for this, and the teams are heading out there. The racers are piling into the big inflatable race car, which you can see. I want to go ahead and make sure we offer up another reminder as we're going to be flipping the camera around in just a few minutes. This is going to be an audio presentation of the game tonight, so you'll be hanging out in the booth with Billy and I and Carson. We'll all be up here, and we'll kick back for the next few hours and see what happens on this football game. We'll paint a word picture for you as best we can. As the regular stream broadcast, this game's going to be available on the NFHS network, which is a paid subscription. So if you want to, not want to pay for it, or you want to just hang out with us, or do a little of both, have us up for audio and that one for video, I don't know however you want to play it, you can do that. But just want to make sure we're all on the same page there, as we are just a few minutes away from getting this thing started. So Guthrie and Newcastle, the captains are both out there for the coin toss, or they're getting ready to be out there for the coin toss, I should say, which is presented by Elcision Realty. Boomer and Tiffany Elcision of the Tiffany team are your local realtors with Prime Realty. Go Racers. Captains for Newcastle, the usual suspects: Tosh Smith, Trey Burchett, Jackson Shanuel, Aiden Elcision, TJ Bradford, and Rex Heskew also out there as well. Newcastle going to be the home team tonight in the all-black home unis. Guthrie in the road whites with the silver helmets and black pants, as they'll get ready to do this opening coin toss and see how we want to start this thing. I ask you this, I feel like, every week, but starting with the football, if you win the toss, you're going to put the defense out there first. This is where those little decisions sometimes can be big, in games like this.
Well, and I hadn't mentioned it, they're going to have to make sure they're not going backwards with penalties. But I think their focus has to start right here. And I am hoping that they will start with the defense first. If they win it, defer to the second half, and let's just see that matchup and start the adjustments.
So the coin toss is offered by the head official here at Putnam City Pirates Stadium. It looks like Guthrie won the toss and deferred. We'll make sure that's the case. That is indeed the case. So Guthrie is going to kick this ball off to start the game. The Racers will start with the football, and they'll be going left to right from our vantage point here at the press box at Putnam City Pirate Stadium. Great facilities out here, by the way, in Putnam City Stadium, and I want to thank them for being very accommodating to us. Obviously these neutral site games, sometimes it's a little hit or miss on, is it organized or is it not? You kind of wonder, and it's been a top shelf operation here at Putnam City Pirate Stadium. So appreciate all the help here, getting us set up, and we're excited and fired up to be here and to do this ball game.
Absolutely.
We'll hang tight here for just a second so we can get the Racers taking the field through the big inflatable race car here at Pirate Stadium, as they get ready to take the field here in a moment. One complaint, if I have any, is that we're in a booth, and normally we're outside. At most places we go, including at home, the windows don't open here, and so it feels like we're in a we're what's the word I'm looking for? The sound is shut off for us, so we feel very quiet in here. So you're not going to get a lot of atmosphere from a sound perspective, unfortunately.
Except for us.
We'll do our best.
We'll be cheering.
But we're excited for this. So the Racers are just about ready to take the field in this 5A semifinal, this dream season for Newcastle to this point. It's going to be it's been an unbelievable ride to this point in the season, and obviously they're hoping to extend it for another week. Guthrie just took the field on the far side. Now the Racers will do the same as the inflatable race car travels. Bill, we've learned that this season. I think they've brought just about everywhere we've gone.
Every game.
Which looks like it wouldn't be the easiest thing to transport. So I admire the dedication to bring in the big inflatable race car.
Yeah, they got a crew. They got a crew about 10, 15 people that set it up, get it going, then tear it down, roll it up.
It looks like, it looks like it would take an effort, which is, whenever I talk to people about, I do Newcastle football, first thing they always bring up, do they still have the race car? That's the first thing that people ask me every single time. I said, no, when they got the new field, but they do have a big inflatable one that they run out of, and they bring it on the road. Yeah. And here they come.
There you go.
Pretty cool. We're fired up. 5A semifinal. Right. We appreciate you being with us here through the pregame show. We're going to go ahead and step aside here with one more timeout. We're going to flip the camera around, and Billy and I will hang out in the booth here and bring you this one, the Racers and the Blue Jays in the 5A semifinals on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We are engineers, scientists, and analysts, the roughnecks, pipe fitters, and welders. We are the workforce that produces Oklahoma's oil and natural gas. We find and deliver the energy that makes this state and country go. We do it better, more safely, with more care for our shared environment than anyone in the world. We do it because our prosperity, our national security, and our way of life depends on us. We do it because we love it.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list. Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again.
We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma, because we wouldn't be a community without you.
All right, back here in the booth. Game underway. Guthrie gives it a kick, and we're playing football. The Racers will field the opening kickoff. It's Rex Heskew at about the 35-yard line. Kickoff presented by First United Bank. First United Bank with over 80 locations across Oklahoma and Texas. A family bank in every sense of the word. Family owned and operated, built on family values, treating you like family. Spend life wisely. Member FDIC. Welcome to the booth at Putnam City Pirate Stadium. Billy Collier, Josh Calloway, Carson Wade's down here on the near side. And we're excited for this one as we get this thing going. Racer offense on the field first, setting up on the 38-yard line after a short kickoff by the Blue Jays was fielded by Rex Heskew. And here we go, Big Jackson Shanuel and this Racer offense on the field trying to get off to a good start. Two running backs in the backfield with Shanuel on either side. First play, will hand off to Lawman. It goes end around to Boykins on a little double reverse. Boykins to the far side, not much there. He's breaking tackles everywhere, and he's down the sideline. Centurio Boykins racing down the far sideline and knocked out of bounds inside the 40 at the Guthrie 39. Billy, that play looked like it was going nowhere. Then all of a sudden, about a 20-yard gain.
Yeah, trick play almost right out of there. I noticed Boykins down there. He's not normally one of the starters down there, but man, what a play.
Centurio Boykins, who's been quietly having a really nice finish to his season down the stretch, making big play after big play. Obviously, that big catch against Bishop McGinnis that everyone remembers. And he came through with a big play there. He broke at least 3 or 4 tackles on that. Yes. That was something special.
You got some speed.
So down to the Guthrie 39-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Racers. Handoff to T.J. Bradford. He'll juke one guy out inside the 35 and wrangled down at the 33. Give him about 6 yards there on first down.
That was good. That was a good run. He almost ran before he got the football. Just a handoff there, and I think they're really trying to spread him out. They had 4 receivers out that time. They're trying to spread out that defense.
So give it 2nd down and call it 3 on the board here at Putnam City Pirates Stadium. Jackson Shane on the shotgun, 4-receiver set. He'll drop back to pass this time. He's got a very clean pocket. Now he'll bounce to his left. Nobody open. He's going to take off and try to run with it. Makes one guy miss. He's loose. Pass to 25 into the red zone. Down the left sideline, going to the pylon. He's in. There is a flag, but Shanuel is in for the touchdown. It's a 33-yard scamper. If it holds up, we'll see what the penalty flag is. It was way down the field at about the 10-yard line. So even if that's a block in the back, if it's a spot foul, he's still going to gain a lot on this. We'll see what the official call is here. But what a start for Newcastle.
Oh, man, just 3 plays and they're in there. I think that was either a blindside block or a block in the back.
And it looks like it is going to come back. But, again, like I said, it's a spot foul, so it won't wipe out the whole play. He is going to still get a first down on it to the 25-yard line. So wipe out the touchdown. But it is a first down run for Shanuel nevertheless. And it'll be 1st and 10 there at the 25. Just a little over a minute into this thing, and Racers are racing down the field. Caden Lawman goes in motion, 4-receiver set. Bradford, the running back in the backfield with Shanuel. Shanuel will pass. He drops back, steps up in the pocket, fires, cutting over the middle is Longman, right about the 20-yard line, and he's wrangled down and tackled there. A gain of about 4. Tackle made by the Blue Jays, number 13, Skylar Scamma, sophomore defensive end.
Well, and that was a good job passing it out of there because he was getting he's getting crowded back there. So to see him cutting across the middle and hit him, that was a good play.
2nd down and 6 after the first down completion. Now the 21-yard line. Got to get to the 15. Bradford in the backfield with Shanuel again, 3-receiver set. This time it'll be a handoff to Bradford to the right side. He's got nowhere to go. Blue Jays blow that one up. As blowing that thing up in the backfield, that was Eli Plagg, senior defensive end. And Bradford lost a couple there. It sets up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, I think we're going to hear Plagg quite a bit tonight. It seems like he's been on several of those tackles already.
So it'll be 3rd down and 8 after the run for Bradford didn't go anywhere. You figure probably 4-down territory this part of the field. Be kind of a long field goal, though. We've seen Brian Madrano hit from this distance. We'll see what the 4th down setup is and what Coach Brickman decides to do if they get there. 3rd and 8, Shane's going to throw. Pressure coming off his right side. He'll dump it off to Bradford. Jukes one guy out. Spin move, another cut back, and he's going to be tackled down at about the 22-yard line. So only gets about another yard or so there. And it's going to be 4th and long. It looks like they are going to try Brian Madrano for a field goal attempt here.
I think that's a good call, especially this early in the game. Come away with some points on your first series.
It's a long field goal. It could be about a 39, 40-yarder or so. Let's call it 40 yards. Looks like they're set up right about the 30. So a long field goal from Madrano. We know he has the leg. We've seen him make kicks from this distance with regularity, including the big kick late against Bishop McGuinness. Spot down from Caden Lallman. The kick from Madrano. It's definitely got the distance. It's through. What a kick by Brian Madrano. Boots that through. And with 8:59 to go in the first quarter, the Racers are on the board first. Stick with us. Newcastle leads at 3-0, the 5A semifinals on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
All right, back here at Putnam City Pirate Stadium, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Racers on the board first, a 40-yard field goal by Brian Madrano on the first drive of the game, puts them up 3-0. Now the Racer defense will try and continue the early good momentum. Want to make sure we thank our first quarter sponsor as the kickoff teams get out there, which is Chris Dumm, Allstate agent. Chris knows what life is like here in Newcastle, that you choose your car and your home to fit your lifestyle and your budget. He also knows how important it is to do the same when it comes to insurance. Looks forward to getting to know you and helping you find solutions that meet your needs. Call him today at 405-392-2390. So Madrano will do the honors on the kickoff here. An interesting formation for Guthrie on this kickoff return. They have 3 guys back. Darion Whitehorse, one of them, a running back. And it's going to go to the far side and will go into the end zone, as Amari Watson had a look at it, but he let it go. And it'll be a touchback. And here comes the Guthrie Blue Jays offense, which, as we detailed in pregame, very run-heavy. We'll see if they alter that at all. That's typically been the strength of Newcastle's defense, has been the inside their defensive line and the run defense. So we'll see what this matchup looks like. Very intrigued here with starting quarterback for Guthrie, Dalen Rice, sophomore, number 14.
Well, it's important. Keep it inside.
It's going to be a QB keeper on the first play of the game. Now, that time it was Colton Carlock, number 3. We talked about this a little bit in pregame. They will use both guys. They kind of both are in there. It's a little confusing for us. Guys who haven't seen Guthrie this season, we're kind of like, who's really the starting quarterback out there? They really have 2 quarterbacks that they use, but not back and forth on the field at the same time. It's very interesting and very unusual. Now, this time it looks like we're going to have Rice bounce out, and Carlock is going to play the snap here on 2nd down and 8. He will fake the handoff and keep it up the middle and wrangled down by Elcision after a gain of just a couple. And it sets up a 3rd down and medium. Looks like they're going to give him the 26-yard line. Got to get to the 30, so 3rd and 4.
Well, and that was a good job keeping him inside, and I was getting ready to say that. I know you guys say what's going on. Those defensive ends, Elcision and I forgot who you said, is it Barbie? Barbie on the other side. They have got to keep them inside. They can't let them get around them. You can't run out of the play.
Just under 8 minutes to play in the first quarter. A chance for a quick 3-and-out here for Newcastle. 3rd down and 4. Now this time it'll be Dalen Rice taking the shotgun snap. They keep you on your toes. He'll fake the handoff and roll out to his right. Rice is going to throw. Pump fakes once. He's going to set up and fire in the middle of the field. It's picked off. Intercepted by the Racers. It's Rex Heskew. He's inside the 30 and wrangled down at the 26. Read it all the way. Nobody open, and Rex Heskew, as he is on offense, Johnny on the spot, picked it off.
Well, what was incredible, and you wouldn't be able to see it there unless you're watching on NFHS, as soon as they saw it was a pass, you had the 2 linebackers come back in coverage. So you actually had 6 people back in coverage, and he just did not have an open gap to get it to anybody. Heskew was right there in the way and took the ball away. Great takeaway.
Boy, that was very well done by the Newcastle defense. Rice rolled out, and you could tell he didn't have room to run, but he also didn't have anywhere to throw, and he just had to let it fly. Rice, a young guy, just a sophomore, and Heskew just read it all the way, one of Newcastle's most veteran players with the interception. And now Newcastle's in business at the Guthrie 26-yard line, 1st and 10, already up by a field goal, trying to add to it. Bradford in the backfield with Shanuel, 3 wide set. He will fake the handoff and keep it. Shanuel up the middle, cutting back inside the 20. He's got some room. To the far side, gets a huge block down the right side. Touchdown, Jackson Shanuel. Rex Heskew just wiped out a guy to set that up, and Shanuel houses it.
And that was great. And, man, I'm watching some great football here, and I hate that y'all aren't seeing it. Heskew was out with his defensive back, and as soon as Shanuel started running, Heskew ran him 10, 15 yards out of the play, just blocking him the whole way till he fell down on the turf. So that was great blocking by him.
That was basically the same touchdown run from earlier, seemingly just to the other sideline. That was to the near side, the far right pylon as far as the far left. Only this one holds up. Medrano's extra point is up and through. And how do you like this start for the Newcastle Racers? With 7:25 to go in the first quarter, it's Newcastle 10, Guthrie 0 in the 5A semifinals on the Oklahoma Sports Network. All right, back here at Putnam City Pirate Stadium, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier. Great start for the Racers. They lead at 10-0 here over Guthrie as Brian Medrano gets set to do the kickoff. The 26-yard touchdown run by the quarterback, Jackson Shanuel. Medrano will do the kickoff. It'll go into the end zone. So a great start for Newcastle. Appreciate everyone being with us. I want to keep reminding folks, this is an audio-only presentation of the game tonight. Not allowed to show the broadcast action. Believe us, we would if we were allowed. It's over on the NFHS network. It has the video broadcast stream of the game. Billy and I are hanging out in the booth. Way to keep up with it. A free alternative way to hang out and keep up with the action. We're not allowed to show the broadcast of the field. Again, we would love to be able to. We're not allowed to. But the NFHS network, if you want to mosey over there, sign up for a subscription. You can watch the game there. As we get back to it here, Billy, obviously a phenomenal start for Newcastle. Wow. You got the turnover, and now you're back on defense leading 10-0 as Dalen Rice and the Guthrie offense go back to work. A handoff on first down goes absolutely nowhere. Racers blow this up. The Blue Jays are going to lose a couple of yards on first down.
I think that interception and touchdown really set Newcastle up to another level. A lot of momentum right now. It just feels like it's going that direction. Looks like we have a player down.
Yeah, there's an injured Blue Jay down for Guthrie. Can't quite make out the number from here. Might have been the ball carrier. I think it's number 1, Zane Thomas. We'll try and confirm that in the break. He got the carry on that last play. We'll step aside with 7:11 to go here in the first quarter. Newcastle an early lead here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
You can look up at our screen right here. That's our lifeblood. That's how we know what's going on at 14,700 foot.
Because you're completely blind otherwise.
That's correct.
People don't really understand the level of tech that's going on.
Yes, sir. Well, this whole thing is extremely high tech. I mean, just the ability to be able to drill down 13,000 feet and then put 90-degree turn in the well and then drill out another 3 miles.
It doesn't matter how casually you say it. It's a freaking miracle, man.
Yes, sir.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, back here at Putnam City Pirates Stadium, injured Blue Jay came off the field. Far side, we had a really hard time making out the number. Couldn't quite see that, and so we'll try and get an update to you as best we can if we're able to. Meanwhile, back to it, a run here on second half for Guthrie and breaking tackles and getting loose down the left sideline. A long run here for Guthrie inside the 35 to the 30. That's Elijah Smith, the junior running back, who just kept breaking tackles. All of a sudden, he was all the way into Newcastle territory. There's a flag at the very tail end of the play. But a big run there on second down. Billy, I might enlist you to shoot the great Gene Reed a text. He's field level. Maybe he can get that number for us on the injured Guthrie player. Okay. But meanwhile, the Blue Jays are back on the move here as a long run, and I think they're going to tack a face mask onto the tail end of this as well. That's going to move Guthrie all the way into the red zone.
Wow.
So that's a flip.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't Carlock running at that time. That's what's pretty amazing.
So 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Rice in the shotgun here for Guthrie. He'll fire to the far side. A dangerous pass. That was backwards. Ooh. It's on the turf. And the Racers think they have it, waiting for a call. Did Guthrie keep it? I still haven't seen a signal. And it looks like Guthrie's going to keep it. It's a huge loss. All the way back to the 29-yard line. They were on the 15. That's a 14-yard loss as Rice just turned around and just launched it backwards and short-hopped his intended target. That's a free ball, obviously, on a backward pass. Well, and almost a brutal turnover.
Well, and you had two people going for it, one from Guthrie and one from Newcastle, and it looked like the Newcastle guy got on it, but when they all got up, it was Guthrie who had the ball.
So 2nd down and 24 after that massive loss. Big mistake there. I'm not sure what that play was even designed to be, as the handoff here on 2nd and 24, the left side won't go for much. And to Elijah Smith again, he'll get forward for a few, but it's going to be a 3rd down and quite a bit here as they're on the 26-yard line. They got to get all the way to the 5, so call it 3rd and 21.
Well, that was just a good job of bottling it up right there in the middle and didn't let him go any farther. And so he only got, what did he get, 2 on that?
2 or 3. It looks like 3 is what they call it officially. So it'll be 3rd down and 21 here. If you can get about half of it, you can at least think about maybe going for it potentially. We'll see how they want to play that if they get to that point. 3rd and 21, Rice will try and throw for it. He'll step back and fire down the middle of the field. It's tipped and incomplete. Racers right all the way. That was Heskew who almost had himself his 2nd interception of the game. As down the middle of the field, pass was intended for Maddox Vaughn, junior wideout, and went just a little bit too tall for him. Heskew almost pulled it in. Now you got 4th down and a mile. And it looks like Guthrie's going to go ahead and just try and go for this. Probably too long to try a field goal.
I think so.
About a 43, 44-yarder or so from here. That's a pretty long field goal in high school. And it looks like Guthrie's going to try and just go for it.
Well, this is where you can see the safety and the one back is just backing up there.
So Coach Beebe elects to go for it. Rice is going to fire down the middle of the field. Got a man down there. It's deflected. It's on the turf. Did he catch that? He did.
Wow.
Touchdown, Guthrie. Amari Watson got loose down the middle of the field. He just threw up a jump ball. It got deflected, and while he was laying on his back in the end zone, look what I found. It landed right in his lap for a touchdown. What a wild play. And Guthrie, wow, you can't really overstate how huge that was, as the Blue Jays now are on the board in major fashion with a touchdown.
Well, and he was surrounded by 3 racers, and that came in, and it did. They hit it, and the ball was in the air, and you saw people falling down, and it just dropped right on his belly button. And so he just had that and had it right there.
So a wild play there, and what a gut punch for the racers. You're so close to a huge stop. Instead, it results in a 26-yard touchdown on 4th down. Now the extra point for the Blue Jays. Spot down and booted through by Carl Miller, senior kicker. And boy, did Guthrie need that. They make it 10-7 with 5:29 to go in the first 5A semifinal on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
All right, back at Putnam City Pirate Stadium, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Appreciate you joining in for this audio presentation of the 5A semifinals. The video broadcast can be found on the NFHS Network. Mosey on over there, make a subscription. If you want to watch tonight's ball game, we're only allowed to show you we're not allowed to show you the field. So it's an audio-only presentation tonight as the Blue Jays cut it to 10-7 on the wild touchdown catch by Watson. Racers back on offense here, or will be after this return by Ben Rice. Gets it out to about the 35, so a good return for Rice and the Racer offense back out there. Obviously, Billy, this Racer offense off to a good start, but it kind of feels like the momentum a little bit, because that was a wild moment. You had 4th down and 21, throw it down the middle of the field. Amari Watson comes through with a circus touchdown catch. And all of a sudden, it feels like new life for Guthrie after they were kind of up against the wall early.
Right, and just amazing that they got that in there, because Newcastle, except for that one run play, have been handling this game, and I'd even call that a lucky catch for it to be tipped like that.
So here we go. Racers back on offense. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. 3 wide set. Shanuel will hand it to T.J. Bradford, who bounces off one tackler but doesn't have a lot more space to work with. He'll only get about 2 on 1st down. A cavalry of Blue Jays there to wrangle them. But we've had a lot happen in the first 7 minutes of this game. By the way, the injured player, as confirmed by our great Gene Reed, was Colton Carlock, who we talk about as a major piece of this offense for Guthrie. Couldn't quite make out the number from our spot up here, but it was Carlock who went down. He was helped off the field. We'll see if he can return. That's a major part of Guthrie's team, so hopefully he can get back out there in this huge semifinal game. Meanwhile, back to it here on the field. 2nd down and 8. Bradford, another run, nothing there. As that play was blown up, a couple of Blue Jays in the mix there. Malik Myers, number 21, along with Caden White, number 15, kind of double team in there. And it's going to be 3rd and long.
Well, and you got, I think their big guy is number 77 as well, Gamble Smith. He's just getting in there and just clogging up all the holes. There's no place to put your feet. And so that's a really good job at the defensive tackle. They're going to have to get that defensive line moving.
Right. 3rd down and 8, so a chance for Guthrie to get a quick stop and then get their offense back on the field. 3 wide set. Bradford, the running back, next to Shanuel. Man in motion here is Caden Longman. He'll get it on the jet sweep. Longman to the far side. He's got the 1st down. Inside the 45, or past the 45, I should say. Across midfield and down near the Guthrie 45. So a jet sweep play to Caden Longman works to perfection as the speedy wide receiver quarterback Swiss Army knife goes for a 1st down and then some.
And that's a great job. Elcision and TJ got out there and were making some key blocks on that and run around there.
So 1st down up to the Guthrie 45-yard line, 3:40 to go in the opening quarter. 3 wide set, Shanuel play action. He'll drop back to pass, step to his left with a little bit of pressure. Now he'll fire over the middle, pass deflected, and broken up. Looking for Rex Heskew. That was Darion Whitehorse who blew that up.
Yeah, that one just wasn't there. That was one I think he probably would have had more yards if he'd have kept it and run, but it seems like in the later part of the season he's been trying to hit those passes.
Darion Whitehorn on the pass deflection there. Well done on his part as Shaniel trying to get it to his trusty number 1 receiver in Heskew. Second down, he'll hand off to Bradford. Flags flying everywhere right on the snap this time, as Bradford's run will go to the left side for about 4 or 5 yards, but we'll have to see what the penalty marker is here.
Yeah, they didn't stop play, which was surprising to me. Usually when you see flags come flying out like that, they're stopping the play. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens here.
You'd assume, well, it could be a couple things. With it being right on the snap, could be someone lined up in the neutral zone for Guthrie, or it could be a procedural penalty, which it looks like that's what it's going to be as they're backing this thing up. So the penalty will go on the racers there. I think maybe illegal motion. I didn't quite see the signal from the head official, but it's a 5-yard penalty, so back them up to 2nd down and 15.
They've got to keep the sticks going forward. They can't let the sticks be moving backwards. That's not against this team.
So 2nd down, 15 now for Newcastle after the penalty. Bradford, the running back, once more again next to Shanuel. He will get the handoff going across the left side, makes one guy miss. He'll cut up the field across the 45 and wrangle down to the 42-yard line. So a good run by Bradford there to make 3rd down manageable. Call it 3rd down and about 7.
That was a good run. You see how well he does. I say that. We saw how well he does sticking that toe in the turf and cutting directions.
Yeah.
That was a great job.
So it sets up a 3rd down and 7. They're at the 37. Got to get to the 30. Or excuse me, they're at the 42. Got to get to the 35. We'll see if they would think about going for a 4th down in this area of the field if it comes to it. 3rd down run here for Shane up the middle. Not a lot there. He'll get forward for a couple. But it will set up a 4th down just inside the 40, and you got to get to about the 35. So I think they're probably going to go for it here based off that play call. There's another injured Blue Jay down at the tail end of that play with 2:19 to go in the first. It's Alfred Officer. Great name. Senior offensive lineman and defensive lineman. He hopped right up. He's trying to stay in the game, but the officials are going to make him come out. They stopped play for him for a moment, so he'll have to sub out for this 4th down play. It looks like Newcastle is going to go for it.
Well, and I think they need to do that. I think they need to throw something in there. This is where they got to get out of the backfield fast and probably not up the middle.
So 4th down and 5. Big play here. 3 wide. They're all at the bottom. Actually, one at the top is Boykins. The running back is Bradford. Shane will try and throw for it. He'll fire down the far sideline. One-on-one. Boykins looking for the end zone, and he just missed him. Boykins had a step on his man down the far sideline. It was one-on-one, just a go ball, and Shanuel just let him a tick too far as Boykins couldn't quite pull it in, and it's a stop on 4th down for Guthrie. So the Blue Jays, hey, give them credit. It was 10-0. Things were looking a little wobbly early, still super early, but a little wobbly. They've come back, got a big touchdown, now a big stop, and they've got the football back down by just 3.
Well, and you just know when receivers and defensive backs, they just kind of battle there at the first, and I think that's what slowed him down because he was just about a half a step behind.
So 1st and 10, Guthrie takes over. Rice will hand it off, and plowing forward across the 45-yard line to the 46 is Elijah Smith again. Since Carlock's injury, it's been Elijah Smith, this junior running back for the Blue Jays, as they try to adjust to one of their major pieces of their offense out of this game, at least for now. We'll see how long, but for the moment, as they have now 2nd down and long. And for Newcastle, it's a little bit of, we prepared to try and stop this guy. Now he's not here. How do they adjust as well? 2nd down run for Smith. This time, nothing there, as he went to the left side and just ran into a wall of black jerseys. Give him a yard, maybe 2. And he'll set up a 3rd down and short.
Yeah, ran right into Ian Barker, and Ian Barker had good position, grabbed him around the arms and chest, and took him straight down there.
So 3rd down and 2 on the way for the Blue Jays. They'll get quickly up to the line. Racer subbing some more big bodies. It's going to be a direct snap to Thomas, the running back, who'll go to the right side, and
Ooh.
I think he's going to get it. It's very close. Looks like they're going to give it to him. He's tackled right at midfield, which is where the marker was, and they're moving the chains. That's a first down.
Well, he didn't get that by much. That was a good move getting those big-sized guys in there.
So it'll be 1st and 10 up to midfield as we move into the final minute of this very eventful first quarter. I feel like we've had some major swings already in this first 12 minutes. As Dalen Rice doing all the snaps of quarterback now, trying to lead his team down the field and take the lead. He fakes the pitch. He takes off. Dalen Rice down the sideline for the Blue Jays. Can anybody get him? It's a race. He's caught from behind, but not before he picks up 40 yards down to the Racer 10.
Boy, I did not see that coming.
Wow, yeah.
Great blocking over on that side. A big hole he got around there, and the Racers were all set up right there in the middle. I think they got stuck there in the hole.
1st and goal at the 10 as Guthrie quickly up there trying to keep the Racer defense on their toes. Here's Thomas on the ground to the right side. Newcastle, a good job clogging up the hole this time as he only gets about 2. But, yeah, on that QB run, that pitch, the fake pitch, a couple of Racers bit. That's all it took, created a seam, and he just launched himself down the field. And now the short run on 1st and goal, and that's going to take us to the end of the quarter as the teams are going to flip into the field. A very eventful first 12 minutes. Racers had all the momentum early, but Guthrie has flipped this thing, and they're trying to take the lead. After 1, Newcastle 10, Guthrie 7, 5A state semifinal on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
This back-to-school season, give your home the connection it deserves with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Experience the power of Wi-Fi 6 technology for smoother streaming, gaming, and learning. And with the Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi app, managing your home network is a breeze. Choose from multiple plans with symmetrical speeds for lightning-fast uploads and downloads. Get your family school-ready with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Sign up today at gopioneer.com.
We are engineers, scientists, and analysts, the roughnecks, pipe fitters, and welders. We are the workforce that produces Oklahoma's oil and natural gas. We find and deliver the energy that makes this state and country go. We do it better, more safely, with more care for our shared environment than anyone in the world. We do it because our prosperity, our national security, and our way of life depends on us. We do it because we love it.
All right, back at Putnam City Pirates Stadium as we get ready to start the second quarter, 10-7 Newcastle. We'll make sure we thank our second quarter sponsors. The teams get back out there for the 2nd and goal, which is Contemporary Family Dentistry. Number 1 goal is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Come in and experience the difference. 1117 Northwest 32nd Street. Give them a call at 405-387-9300. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier back here behind me in the booth here at Putnam City Pirates Stadium. This audio presentation of the 5A semifinal. 2nd and goal from the 8 for Guthrie. Rice will give the handoff to Thomas. He'll go to the left side, and again, not much there. Racers clog up the running lane, maybe a yard, and it'll be 3rd down and goal. This is a big spot here, Billy. Try and hold them to 3 and at least get out of this still tied.
Right, and they're doing a good job keeping it right in the middle. Of course, Guthrie's not doing them any favors. Every time you saw some big yardage, it was around the ends. They just keep going up the middle into big number 77 and 73, and I'm not sure you can get through them.
So it'll be 3rd down and goal here. Thomas, the running back, next to Rice. We'll see what Guthrie does. If they're going to try and throw for it, they will. Rice play action. He's looking for someone to go. No one there. He'll spin, and he's eventually going to have to just eat it. He might have actually gained a couple of yards on this, but he's going to be held short of the goal line. As it looks like they're actually going to give him about the 4-yard line. A couple of Racers players were acting like the ball might have come out, and it did!
Wow.
A fumble, and the Racers got it. I have no clue what happened on that play as it just went into a pile. I'm shocked that his forward progress wasn't ruled stop, Billy. The play looked over. All of a sudden you saw a couple of Racer players get excited like maybe something had happened with the ball coming loose, and before you know it, it's ruled Racer football at the 3-yard line.
Well, when they grabbed the quarterback there and started pushing back a little bit, I saw some of the Guthrie guys and Racer guys run in there like a junior high fight, and then I think that's when the fumble happened is before that.
Boy, I'll tell you what, if I'm Coach Kelly Beebe for Guthrie, you're asking, how is that play not blown dead? Because it
Right.
felt like the play was over. I called it like it was over, but it's a fumble and a turnover. Newcastle takes over on their own 3-yard line. What a huge swing. And now T.J. Bradford makes a couple guys miss. He's loose down the middle of the field. T.J. Bradford all the way out to the 40, and he's wrangled down there. Boy, when T.J. puts his foot in the ground, he can shake anyone. A big run on first down all the way out to the 39.
And that's what we need to keep that foot just on their throat. Just keep driving and keep going. And Guthrie needs to think, number one, that's the first time I've seen someone kind of run and keep up with him.
Yeah, Zane Thomas able to run down and save what would have been potentially a 97-yard touchdown if it wasn't for him. But as it is, it's a 36-yard run for Bradford. And my, oh my, how quickly this game has shifted a couple of times already as the Racers going back down the field. Shane will throw down the sideline for Bradford, incomplete, and it's going to be a flag and a pass interference on the Blue Jays.
And that was a good call. He threw it to the back shoulder.
It was one of those classic down the field where the ball was a little underthrown, but it resulted in the penalty. You see that all the time.
I think now they call it the back shoulder pass.
Yeah.
When I was playing street ball, they called it a bad pass. But he's throwing it to the back shoulder, and the defensive back just did not know where it was at, so he didn't allow him to come back and get it.
So they get up to the 46 now of Guthrie. So 2 plays from their own 3 to the Guthrie 46. Racers on the move here trying to push this lead back out a little bit, leading it 10-7 in this 5A state semifinal. Bradford, the running back, next to Shanuel. 3 receivers are all at the bottom. Actually, this is Ben Rice, getting the carry. And he'll get forward for a few. So a good run there on first down.
Yeah, Ben Rogers there.
Ben Rogers, my mistake.
But yeah, running in there, giving him a little bit there.
He gets forward for a few, sets up 2nd down and 7.
Bradford's back in, so.
Ben Rice, first baseman for the Yankees last season. Yeah. I got my names mixed up a little bit. Moving too quickly here, Billy. 2nd down and 7. Fake the handoff. Shanuel will try and throw for it. Ref almost got in the way. Defender falls down. Buys Shanuel some extra time. He's going to fire down the middle of the field, and Caden Longman had to go defensive back mode, but they might get an offensive PI on this as the defender for Guthrie, Skylar Scammon, number 13, had positioning on Longman, and Caden had to go defense to avoid the interception, but he might have got an OPI on this.
He might have, because he was having to play defensive. Shanuel ran backwards 20 yards before he finally got that pass off. That's what it is, offensive pass interference.
So the OPI will go on the Racers, and will back them up and make this a 2nd down and long now with 9:46 to go until halftime.
Just exchanging PIs right there, aren't they?
Yep. So the official, let's see, they're going to put it after the penalty on the 42 of Newcastle. Got to get to the 36 of Guthrie. So 2nd and 22, if I'm doing my math right there.
Well, that's what it looks like.
Shanuel in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, hand off to Bradford going to his left. He'll get around the edge of the line, and a nice hit coming up from the Blue Jay defender there, and he got maybe a yard. As Guthrie coming up, laying the boom there. Looks like that's 15, Caden White. The senior linebacker came up and put Bradford on the turf.
And he got over there fast. Caden White, number 15, got over there, cut him off, didn't let him around that corner, and that's what just stopped the entire play.
So this drive really neutralized by that penalty. Now you're looking at 3rd down and a mile. Got to get all the way to the 36 of Guthrie, and you're on your own 43. Shanuel will try and throw for it. He'll drop back. Pressure coming. The drop off is a little screen play to Cragg, but his shoestring tackle from behind is going to limit this one as Kellen Herzl got him on the foot. Cragg able to get a few yards, but still well short of the marker. And Newcastle, no choice here but to punt.
Yeah, that's one of those things we talked about the first of the game. You cannot get those penalties. I mean, they started out in 2 plays. They went 43 yards and then played the penalty back and forth with them, and just cannot do that in a game of this level.
So the Racers will have to punt it away. Leading at 10-7. They can't capitalize on the fumble. They do at least get it away from their goal line a little bit, which is a major goal when you take over inside your own 5. But the Racers have to punt. And it looks like they might consider faking this. They're going to try. Lawman's rolling around. He's going to have to throw it. Looking for Heskew, and he short-hopped it to him. So the Racers go for a fake punt with Caden Longman Obviously, normally Madrano handles the punts. They leaked Lawman out there to take the snap, and then he took off with it and tried to throw it back across the field. It's a really long throw to Heskew, and the Blue Jays, give him credit, were kind of prepared for it, it seemed like. And Lawman had no choice but to just try and get it over to Heskew as quick as he could, but couldn't get it there. And now there's a late flag at the tail end of this, but it looks like Guthrie's going to get a stop on 4th down and take over in Racer territory. That was a major gamble there by Newcastle, and it didn't work, but we'll see what the penalty flag is.
Well, and you had number 15, Caden White, for Guthrie back in there again, just up there, right up in his face. So they're coming over to talk to...
They're talking to the Racer sideline now. They're going to say it's an ineligible man downfield, which Blue Jays will decline. Yeah. And so it's no harm, no foul on that front, if you want to look at it that way. But it's a 4th down stop, so a major play there. We've had some huge – the momentum is just swinging back and forth here. And Guthrie takes back over on the Racer 46, still down by just 3. Rice will hand it off here to the left side, and plowing his way inside the 40 is Carlock. So good to see Colton Carlock back in the game. That's the first snap we've seen him since he went down earlier, which is great to see. I'll say a major piece of this Guthrie team. Couldn't tell what it was he hurt, or like something lower body, but hard to tell. But good to see him back out there.
It is great. You don't want anybody hurt. You want everybody to play this game and enjoy it and play it to the best.
Yeah,
so.
and you want every team at this point in the year maximum strength. You want everyone at their best, and that's where. And that, for Guthrie, that's what certainly with Colton Carlock in the game. He goes 7 yards on 1st down. He'll get it again on 2nd down, cutting up the field. Not a ton of space here, but it looks like he does have enough to get the 1st down up to the Racer 35.
So you know that the Racers watched a lot of film, and so this is going right back into what they looked at. Watch number 3. So there won't be a lot of surprises like we saw there with Isaiah Smith. Elijah Smith.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Rice will check with the Blue Jays sideline. Carlock, the running back, there next to him. As Guthrie driving in, trying to at least tie the game, but certainly take the lead. Down 10-7. Rice going to throw. He'll fire down the middle of the field. The pass is caught inside the 20. Racing down near the 15 is Amari Watson. Watson's the one who caught that circus touchdown back in the first quarter. And he has a big one there down to the Racer 17. And Guthrie is knocking on the door trying to get themselves back in the lead.
Well, and that was just a rope throw. I mean, that was a 75-mile-an-hour fastball for a football, and it got there fast. Good throw.
Yeah, that was a good throw by the young Dalen Rice, just a sophomore in a game like this. And obviously made the big mistake earlier with the interception, but playing pretty well otherwise. Jet sweep here, a little touch pass to Watson. Trying to get to that edge. Racer's doing a good job, and he's upended. A big hit. He'll get about a yard as Watson, that little jet sweep touch pass, he took it all the way across the field, just couldn't get around the edge. And then someone, I couldn't quite make out the number from this far side, took out his legs as he gets about a yard.
Yeah, he ran 30 yards to get a yard, but he did a handless cartwheel there at the end.
You're in the midway point of this second quarter. We appreciate everyone hanging out with us. This audio presentation of 5A semis. We know it's not ideal. We'd love to show you the game if we could. Not allowed to. NFHS Network has the video broadcast of the game, but hang out with us as long as you'd like in this 5A semi, Billy and I, as second down here for Guthrie. Rice going to try and throw for it. Far side, it's caught at the 5, carrying a defender with him to the 1. It got poked out, but it goes out of bounds. And Guthrie is going to have it 1st and goal inside the 5.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, they did it on 2 passes, and that's not something you would be expecting.
I think that was Eli Plagg, 44, the tight end. It's a little hard to see the numbers when they get to those far corners. But I think that was Eli Plagg, senior tight end, and it's 1st and goal for Guthrie. Direct snap here to Carlock. He goes to the right side, upended, he's in. Touchdown, Colton Carlock from 2 yards out. And Guthrie's got their first lead of the night with 5:46 to play until halftime.
And it really just, those penalties really hurt Newcastle. Really hurt them.
So a 2-yard run for Carlock on the direct snap. And Guthrie has got themselves a lead for the first time. So after a heck of a job by the Blue Jays, sticking with it after that gut punch of a fumble, they get the stop. They get their offense back out there after the 4th down failed fake punt. They go down and punch it in. And now Guthrie's got themselves a lead here at Putnam City Pirate Stadium. Extra point is through. There is a flag, though, right on the snap. So we'll hold here for just a moment as we see what this penalty is before putting that point on the board.
If it goes like it has all season, it might be offsides.
No, it's going to be a false start, it looks like, on Guthrie. So someone moved a little early. And so this will back up the extra point. They'll have to try it again.
Yep. Here comes the noise.
So I don't know if you can pick that up hear that over the broadcast. Someone's banging something. So they'll try the extra point again, this time 5 yards back. Second try at it is also up and through for Carl Miller, the senior kicker. And with 5:46 to play until halftime, Guthrie's got their first lead. They lead over Newcastle 14-10. You're listening to the 5A semifinals on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We are engineers, scientists, and analysts, the roughnecks, pipe fitters, and welders. We are the workforce that produces Oklahoma's oil and natural gas. We find and deliver the energy that makes this state and country go. We do it better, more safely, with more care for our shared environment than anyone in the world. We do it because our prosperity, our national security, and our way of life depends on us. We do it because we love it.
All right, back here at Putnam City Pirate Stadium, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier, Carson Wade on the production of this audio-only presentation of the 5A semifinals. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us on a chilly Friday night in December, the 5A semis. Guthrie will kick it away. It's a short kickoff. Be fielded at the 30 by Heskew. I believe that's who that is. Hard to see the far side. And he gets down the sideline. It's going to be good field position for Newcastle as they're going to set up on their own 42. So the pooch kick there for Guthrie. You know, you love for one of your speedsters in the back to get a chance to return, but I don't know if Coach Brickman's going to turn down the 42-yard line very often either. So good start, starting field position here for Newcastle. Feels like, Billy, the Racers really need to respond here.
Yes.
You know, the momentum has flipped in the game. It was 10-0 early. Some big plays for Newcastle, but Guthrie now with their first lead. Can the Racers try to flip this thing back before halftime?
And they're going to have to. I mean, they come out, Guthrie comes out on offense in the third quarter. They're going to have to score before halftime, get this momentum back.
So 1st and 10 at the 42 is where Newcastle starts. Shanuel takes the shotgun snap. He'll hand it off to Bradford, who will carry guys forward for a few yards up to about the 46-yard line. So they give him about 4 on that. Good run on first down for Bradford. That's something TJ's been very good about is those runs on first down. Don't look like there's much there. Still getting 4 or 5 out of it. You'll take down a first down every time.
Oh, absolutely. Get down there 3-1, 3-2 if you have to.
Second down. Shanuel in the shotgun once more, as per usual. He'll take the snap, drops back, fire over the middle, pass is caught. This is Boykins inside the 40. Carrying a defender with him inside the 30, inside the 25, just with a guy giving him a piggyback ride down near shy of the red zone at the 21.
Man.
Boy, that looked like it was going to be a solid pickup, but he just, like I said, defender draped all over him. Didn't matter. A huge game for Boykins.
Oh, and he just kept going. That almost looked like something out of Cirque du Soleil. They're just carrying 2 guys with him, and finally, I think his own guy knocked him down so he wouldn't get the ball stripped.
So all the way down to the 21-yard line, Newcastle knocking on the door, trying to get that lead right back. Bradford, the running back, next to Shanuel here on 1st and 10 at the 21. Handoff is given to Bradford, exploring to the left side, inside the 10, diving forward inside the 5. Racers knocking on the door into the Trinity Restoration red zone. Newcastle looking to get that lead right back.
That was impressive. A good run, good hole. There's 2 receivers on this low side, on the near side, and they had their blocks good, and TJ was able to run right around it.
So it'll be 1st and goal at the 4. As they go quickly to the line here. Shanuel in the shotgun. He's all alone in the backfield. He'll take it right to the right side. Nothing there. He breezes into the end zone. A late hit in the end zone. It's going to get tacked on to the end of this as Shanuel had already crossed the goal line and someone for Guthrie laid a lick on him. But it's a touchdown run for Shanuel, his second of the night. And Newcastle's got themselves a lead. There's an injured Blue Jay player down in the end zone as well in this place. So a lot going on. But the Racers will have themselves a lead as Jackson Shaniel from 4 yards out. The QB run right to the right side. A big lane opened up for him, and he walked it in. Touchdown for Newcastle.
Well, and that was a great job. They pulled, it looked like they pulled Big Todd Smith and possibly Ledoux, who's the center, pulled them around to the right and just blocked it. So he was untouched until he got into the end zone. It looks like they're saying the penalty was on Newcastle, but I didn't see what the call was.
No, it wasn't. At least not the one in the end zone. It was clearly a late hit. That's what the flag in the end zone was for. If there was another penalty, that's entirely possible. No, they're lining up for the extra point.
Yeah.
So, of course, the injured player for Guthrie is still down. It's one of the linemen. Can't quite see the number, unfortunately, here for Guthrie. So there's an injured player down for the Blue Jays with 4:12 to go. Racers do have the lead, 16-14. We're waiting on this extra point attempt. We'll go ahead and step aside here while they attend to the injured man here for Guthrie. 4:12 to play until halftime. Racers back in the lead by 2 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list. Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again.
We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting, so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma because we wouldn't be a community without you.
All right, back here at Putnam City Pirates Stadium, the injured player down for Guthrie was Corey Carlock, number 57. Came off under his own power. Good to see. As the Racers will line up for the extra point here from Madrano. As it's up and through the penalty, by the way, it looks like it's going to get enforced on the kickoff, by the way. Extra point there, I said Madrano. It was actually Gage Bell, number 23, who booed that through with 4:12 to go until halftime. So a big response there, Billy. Racers needed that, to say the least. Guthrie had seized the momentum of this game with 14 unanswered points. The fourth down stop on the fake punt. They go down, they punch it in, but Newcastle zips down the field, and now they're back in the lead, and now can they hold it before halftime?
Well, and I think they're seeing that Guthrie can do more than just run, and so they're going to have to make some changes, make some adjustments, staying back on those players. It looked like early in the game when he went back to pass, he'd have about 2 of the linebackers kind of fall back into coverage.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think if they went back to that, that would cut that off. I don't know that you can run much past the front 6, plus just adjust and come back and do that. But it looks like they're doing a lot more passing, so the defensive backs and safeties are going to have to be on their game.
I appreciate everyone who's tuned in, wherever you may be hanging out with us in this 5A semifinal, this audio broadcast. I keep bringing it up. I keep mentioning it for anyone tuning in who's wondering, what the heck? Why am I not seeing the field? Why am I seeing these jokers in the booth? We're not allowed to show the action on the field. The NFHS Network has the exclusive broadcasting rights to these semifinal and championship games. So we're still here on the OSN Oklahoma Sports Network. Not a lot of networks do this. A lot, they just, they step aside. We decided we still want to give people a free way to hang out and keep up with the action. We love to show the field. We would love to. We're not allowed to. So we're hanging out, giving people a way to keep up with the action, a free way, and continue to follow it as the Racers kick it away here. They went with a little squib onside. I guess it was an onside. It was kicked pretty hard to be an onside. They kicked it off from the 45-yard line because of the penalty, so it wasn't really too much of a risk. And Guthrie takes over at about the 30. I would have liked more of like a little pooch there and try to return it when your whole team is already down the field. But nevertheless, Guthrie takes over on their own 32.
It almost looked like an onside, but it's weird.
But it was kicked really hard. That was
right.
Yeah.
So an onside, and they still do it from their 32-yard line. So
a big possession here. Both teams still have all their timeouts. 4:10 to play until halftime. 17-14. Can Guthrie get down and try to answer now? As the momentum has swung violently in this game a couple of times already. And Guthrie's hoping for at least one more before the halftime break. 1st and 10. Rice will hand it off to the left side. Nothing there. as that was Darion Whitehorn on the carry, and he didn't get anything as he went to the left side, and black jerseys clogged up the lane and sat down for no gain.
That was a good job. I believe it was Big Taj Smith that just grabbed his feet and couldn't run with them. So he just went straight down right there. It looks like maybe a gain of a half yard or so.
Not a lot of guys going to go a long way with Taj Smith draped over him.
No. His hands are about as big as my face.
Second down and 10 after the first down run doesn't go for anything. They'll go back to Whitehorn again. This time he will get some yardage. Makes a guy miss across the 40, across the 45. That's a first down, carrying the pile out near midfield. So a big run there for Darion Whitehorn. As it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 50. These offenses have starting to find their groove a little bit.
They are, and really doing good. And you had blockers down there moving the defensive line and linebackers.
1st and 10 at the 49 is where they call it, the Guthrie 49. Whitehorn to the left side. This time just nothing there as a handful of racers, and a late hit, though, on the tail end of it's going to be a personal foul. As at the tail end of that play, a Newcastle defender couldn't quite see who.
31, Barbie.
That'd be Barbie, who the play was over, and he kind of gave him one more slung down. Officials were ready for it, and they're going to get the personal foul on this. That's a big one. That would have been about a 4 or 5 yard loss. Instead, it's going to be a personal foul, 15-yard penalty, and a first down. Big swing there.
Well, and he picked him up. I think the biggest mistake was that he picked him up off his feet and slung him over his shoulder. And just can't do that. Can't do that on any level. I see penalties for that at the NFL. So that took him all the way down to the 38-yard line of Newcastle.
So a big penalty there. Like I said, it was going to be at least, a 3 or 4 yard at a minimum, maybe more, loss there on first down. But instead, it's a 15-yard penalty and a first down to the 38. So Guthrie on the move here trying to get the lead back. Rice will pump fake and try to do a QB draw. Nothing. As that one was blown up. Big Antonio Brown, the one there to swallow him up, and he had nowhere to go. And it's going to be maybe even a loss of a half yard or so.
Well, and that was a good job by Brown just to go around his blocker and get right in the way of him. That was a great job and just fast. Got around him real fast.
Again, a reminder that both teams still have all their timeouts, so certainly no rush if you're Guthrie right now. And if you're Newcastle, do you consider taking one if you get a stop here on third down, trying to save your offense some time? These are the questions that also have to wait and see. Remember, Guthrie will start the second half with the football. Racers open the game on offense. Rice will throw here on second down. Pump fake fire over the middle of the field. Pass is caught inside the 20. There was Racer defenders everywhere, but Rice really threaded the needle well there to the junior wideout Jace Rainwater, and it's going to be 1st and 10 inside the red zone.
I'm really impressed with his throwing there.
Yeah, that was a slung ball right there. That was a good throw.
Rice is showing some great ability passing. I wonder where that's been all year.
And we talked about pregame. Guthrie's such a run-heavy team, but they're throwing it with some success right now. Had the interception on the very first pass attempt of the night, but since then it's been pretty darn solid for the Blue Jays. And they're on the move here again in the red zone. Rice faked the handoff over the middle, going to the tight end, is caught inside the 5. That's Plagg again, and it's 1st and goal Blue Jays. Back and forth we go here at Putnam City Pirate Stadium.
Yeah, got it down to the 3-yard line. That was just a good crossing route. He ran that through the middle. I think the linebacker's moving up, trying to get a sack, opened up that middle, so he didn't really get a hard hit. But that was just a good pass and good throw.
And this is where I was curious if Newcastle considered using any of their timeouts. Guthrie with 1st and goal now. Newcastle, you might want to try and save yourself some time to try and answer. Direct snap here goes to Carlock, who with the left side. Cutback move. Can he get to the goal line? Going to be close. He's in. Touchdown, Colton Carlock from 3 yards out with a $1:12 to go. It's like a tennis match right now, Billy. These offenses are both flowing, and the Blue Jays are back in the lead.
Well, and they're just taking shot after shot at each other, and just going to be last man standing wins, I guess. Man alive.
So Carlock, who looked like, we're wondering if he was going to come back in this game. Now he's got 2 touchdowns in this 5A semifinal. The senior, you knew he wasn't going to go out without a fight, as he's back in there, and Guthrie's back in the lead. Extra point is up and through with 1:12 to play until halftime. Can the Racers respond? They got all their timeouts, so expect them to be aggressive here with 1:12 to go until halftime. Guthrie in the lead, 21-17 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Back here in the Oklahoma Sports Network, 1:12 to go until halftime. Guthrie and Newcastle here at Putnam City Pirate Stadium. Been a very entertaining first half, Billy. Obviously, everything we could have hoped for. These two teams have gone back and forth. Momentum has swung. And Newcastle's hoping to try and do it one more time before halftime. As the kick is away here, be fielded by Rogers inside the 15. He has shown an ability to really make some electrifying moments on these returns, but this one will be bottled up. Got to about the 30-yard line with 1:06 to go. Well, I mean, it goes without saying here. You got all your timeouts. Guthrie gets the ball for the second half. Probably be aggressive here, right, and try to make something happen.
Well, you've got to get down the field. Got to get down the fast. Penalties will completely destroy this. You cannot have any penalties right here. You've got to have everything positive. Get down the field. I think you may see a lot of Boykins and see some Heskew and Schumard. And Caden. So we'll see what happens here.
Go ahead.
I was going to say it looks like 4 receivers. So
yeah, 4 receivers set on this first down. Bradford, the running back, they will throw. Shaniel drops back. He's going to fire down the middle of the field. Longman's behind the defense. It's caught inside the 40. Caden Longman showing a proclivity for getting open deep. A huge play on first down to the Guthrie 36, and the Racers have now got some momentum here.
And he went right up between 3 defenders who thought they had a chance for it and just took it out of the air.
They don't use their timeout. They get quickly up to the line here. First down at the 36. Shania will throw again. Pressure coming. He's going to throw that away. He was definitely in the pocket. Guthrie sideline hoping for intentional grounding, which – I mean, he was definitely in the pocket. It definitely didn't get to the line of scrimmage.
No, Heskew was there about 1 yard
That's
past.
the question. Do they consider Heskew in the area? And I don't see a penalty flag still at this point.
No, he's probably about 4 or 5
So it looks like they're going to give him the incomplete pass. That's fortunate because when it happened, I mean, again, clearly in the pocket, clearly it didn't get to the line, but they're going to say Rex Heskew on that far sideline. Well, it's close enough, and they'll just call it an incomplete pass with 43.8 to go until halftime. Can Newcastle at least get close enough for a manageable field goal here? Going to be key. Second down. Shania will throw again. Drop back. Good clean pocket over the middle. Looking for Schumard. He's got it! Inside the 10. Touchdown, Newcastle. The offenses are lighting it up at Putnam City Pirates Stadium.
Man.
Wow.
Great throw. Great catch.
Unreal.
That was the first time this year I've seen the receiver speed up after the pass goes in the air. Usually they will slow down or look to see where it's going to be. He took off and ran faster, got behind the defense. The defense actually kind of stopped and paused to see where the ball was. He kept running, got behind him, and got in there for a touchdown.
So in exactly 36 seconds, they had 112. It took 36 seconds. They go down and score a 36-yard touchdown to Schumard. And Newcastle's back ahead by 2. Extra point makes it 3. This game is living up to the billing, Billy. Yes. A wild first half, and Newcastle's now back ahead 24-21.
Boy, needed that. Needed that well.
Now Guthrie's got all their timeouts with still 36.9 on the clock. And the way these offenses are just zipping up and down the field, it feels like there's still more to be done in this first half. This has been a nutty first 2 quarters.
Oh, crazy. I mean, this is probably the most yards and a half I've seen against Newcastle defense.
Yeah.
Just going at Pryor, had a lot of yardage in the air, but I don't know that they had this much.
It's been something in this first half, and we've seen some high-scoring games this year. You think of the game you guys did in Lawton with Lawton MacArthur. Obviously, the prior games a couple weeks ago, 38-37. We're on pace to blow that away right now. 24-21, still with a little bit of work to do in this first half, as a 36-yard touchdown to Alex Schumard, a fantastic throw, just threading the needle perfectly down the middle of the field. And like you said, Schumard never broke stride, pulled it in, and walked into the end zone. a heck of a play. And Newcastle, boy, how big was that to get down and get the lead back with Guthrie getting the ball to start the second half. That's the key element, and that was big right there.
Yeah, the Oklahoman picked this to be the actual final score, and we've hit that with 37 seconds.
If they set over-unders for high school football, we're going way over.
Way
basically is what
over.
you're saying.
Yeah, go to FanDuel.
1st and 10, the kickoff lined up here for Newcastle on the 40. As this has just been a nutty first half. Medrano boots it away, and Guthrie will let it go into the end zone, so they'll bring it out to the 20 after the touchback with 36.9. Now we'll see how aggressive the Blue Jays are. They got all their timeouts and 37 seconds basically to work with. We'll see if they want to try and take some shots down the field. I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, the offenses are just having all the success right now, and so we'll see what they try to do here before halftime.
Well, and Newcastle's just really on its heels, not knowing where it's going to go. I would not be surprised if they move Shanuel back to kind of a cover position, which they did the first of the year, to clog up a little bit of that middle. But as soon as you move them back, you're going to see Colton Carlock. So it's pick your poison kind of.
So 1st and 10 to 20. They will run on first down. It's a jet sweep to the wide receiver, Watson, and it goes nowhere. Racers read it all the way. Blowing that up is Shanuel, who's had a really stellar year on defense as well. And it looks like Guthrie, our question is going to be answered here, is they're not in any hurry, as it looks like they're going to take it to halftime. That's the luxury that they have of getting the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
They have the option. If we don't get much on first down, we can slow play it. And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do.
I don't think they're going to hike
Yeah,
it.
and it looks like we're going to take it to the halftime. Boy, what a first half that was. The Racer faithful here, of which there are many at Putnam City Pirate Stadium, giving the team a standing O as they leave the field, as the Racers pumping up the crowd, going to the locker room. A highly entertaining first 24 minutes, Billy, that somehow at the end of it, Newcastle holds a 3-point lead. But this is a game that's going to be decided in the fourth quarter, but if you're Newcastle, you feel good to have a lead right now.
Yes, and at this level, you look to see what adjustments they're going to make at halftime. Each coach is going to talk to their team, the positions. They're going to make some adjustments. They're going to look at doing some things. They're going to see what worked in the first half and what they need to shore up. So I'm thinking it's going to be exciting in the second half, and it may be a totally different game in the second half.
Yeah. So far it's been all about the offenses.
Yes,
we'll see.
And all passing.
Right,
so
you're
that's
right.
been a surprise as well.
You're right. It's been passing down the field, running to punch it in, but largely between the 20s, it's been all about the passing game. What a first half. Newcastle leads at 24-21. We'll step aside for halftime. Obviously, stream's not going anywhere. We'll step aside. We're going to put the graphic up so you guys don't have to look at us at halftime here. And then we'll rejoin you shortly before half. The clock will be up. We'll leave the clock up. That way anyone tuned in can know how much time you have. So get a snack. Go do whatever you got to do. And be ready for the second half. Billy and I will look at some scores, and then we'll get you all ready for the second half here from Putnam City Pirate Stadium. A wild first 24 minutes. Newcastle leads Guthrie 24-21. Appreciate you hanging out with us on a Friday night there in the 5A state semifinals. Halftime now. Newcastle leads it by 3. We'll be back here shortly for the second half. righty, back here at Putnam City Pirates Stadium. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier, just about ready to get the second half started. Guthrie and Newcastle, 5A semi. Real quick, around the other big games going on, the other major games, the other 5A semi, Carl Albert just scored. They were up 7-0 at the half over Dale City. They just scored to make that 13-0, presumably 14-0 when the extra point goes through there. So the Titans in good shape just across town over at PC North. As for the 6A level, my Owasso Rams, my alma mater, in a barn burner with Bixby, 21-all, just starting the second half in that one. And then both 4A semis, which are also on OSN tonight, Elgin leading Wagner 14-10 and Tuttle leading Bethany 10-0. So a lot of good games, Billy. Everything is competitive right now. What you expect, semifinals, state championship games. And we're fired up, ready to start the second half here. Second half kickoff presented by First United Bank. Key for you quickly as the teams get out there for Newcastle. Obviously, just a 3-point game. Still, obviously, anybody's ball game. What do the Racers got to do to find a way to bring this thing home?
I think you got to clean it up. First and foremost, got to clean it up. Every time you go backwards, it kills your momentum. Got to clean it up. And I have a feeling you're going to see a lot more passing with Guthrie coming out in this half. We'll see if the defensive backs stay on them and keep that going as well.
So we're just about ready. Racers are going to be kicking off to start the second half. Guthrie will start with the football down by 3 points. Brian Madrano does the kickoff, and we're away in the second half in the 5A semifinal. Kick will go into the end zone, and Guthrie will bring it out to the 23rd quarter, presented by OEC, the Oklahoma Electric Cooperative, taking high-speed fiber where no one else will. No contracts, no fees, just a good connection. Bringing you the power of high-speed fiber services to your door. Check them out at oecfiber.com. Appreciate everyone tuning in. I think everyone gets the gist by now, but the audio presentation of the 5A Semi, NFHS Network, where you can watch the game in full. Of course, actually, the great Eric Sherm, our boss, is on the call on the NFHS Network. I'll say OSN and NFHS, good relationship. But we're able to just do the audio broadcast of the game here tonight. As we get back to it, start the second half, Guthrie handoff to the right side on the first play of the second half. We'll go for about a couple of yards there for Elijah Smith, who we saw Smith really come on after Carlock went out of the game. But even when Carlock has come back with 2 touchdowns, Smith still a big part of the offense here.
And he'd have gotten more. He ran right into Artosh Smith, and he walked him backwards.
Smith on Smith.
Yep.
2-yard gain makes it 2nd down and 8. The quarterback, Dalen Rice, checking with the sideline. Guthrie going right to left from our vantage point here at the press box at Putnam City Pirate Stadium. Handoff blown up. Racers all over. This was Smith again, and this time a swarm of Racer defenders clogging that thing up. He might have lost a yard on that. Nothing there, and it's going to be 3rd down and long.
Well, and you had Todd Smith in there again, and he's pumping his fist when he came out of there. So that was really good. Him and let me pull up the other guy here, Blake Allen. They just shut that off.
So 3rd down and long for Guthrie. Rice, the quarterback, checks with the sidelines. A 3-wide set for the Blue Jays. All 3 receivers on that far side. Nobody down here on the near side by the Racer sideline. Rolling out that way is Rice. He'll pump fake once. Pressure coming, and he's sacked. Back at the 10-yard line. I think that's Scagnetti 21. Hard to read those numbers when they get on that far sideline. Blowing that play up.
That was a great job. Way to get to him. That's the first sack we've had tonight.
21, Carson? Think so? So a big sack there. And, boy, this Racer defense, which didn't have a great first half, obviously.
No.
Guthrie largely doing what they wanted. Came through there with a quick 3-and-out. Exactly what the doctor ordered. And the Racers get the ball back. Punt away here by Carlock. Heskew having a backtrack for it. It'll bounce, and he's going to let it go to the turf. And roll dead at that was on us, 42-yard line. Ben Rogers jumping over the ball there. Probably make Coach Brickman heart skip a beat. Yeah. But the Racers will take over on their own 42. That was a big punt by Carlock out of almost his own end zone to flip the field a little bit. But the Racers get a huge stop ability that they really needed on defense. Now you have a chance offensively to go try and get yourself a 2-score lead if you can go down the field here.
Well, and that's what they need to do. Now, again, we made adjustments on their offense. Wait to see what their adjustments are on their defense. We'll see how that goes. But, yes, I think they haven't stopped our offense all night. We can go different ways. I think get down there, score another touchdown, and let them try and play catch-up the rest of the game.
So 1st and 10 on their own 42-yard line. It's a 4-wide set for Shanuel. The running back, of course, T.J. Bradford on this first offensive snap of the second half. Bradford's going to now split out and go 5 wide.
Wow.
Shanuel drops back to pass. Steps up, fire down the field, looking for Boykins. One-on-one down there near the 20. Did he catch that? Waiting for a signal. I don't see anything, and they're going to say he went out of bounds. They're going to say he was out of bounds, incomplete. Boy, Centurio Boykins, he definitely caught the ball as it was a one-on-one jump ball, but they're going to say he didn't get a foot down right down the right sideline. He was just on the outskirts of the red zone, so about 40 yards or so in the air, that throw, but they're going to say he didn't get a foot down, incomplete.
Well, and you're just seeing a taste of what he's going to be like for the next few years.
Mm-hmm. Boy, that was a heck of a play on the ball, nevertheless. But an incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10 on the 42. Fake the hand up to Bradford. Shanuel tries to run up the middle, nothing there. As the Blue Jays all over that one. The initial contact didn't make the tackle, but really the one disrupting the play there was Eli Plagg again, who's having a big game for Guthrie, both offensively and defensively. He's their starting tight end as well. He's been very involved in the offense, and he was in there on defense there, and he kind of was the one who really messed that whole play up. Only got a yard on that, 3rd and 9. See how aggressive the Racers are here on this 3rd down. Would they consider going for it on 4th in this area if they're able to get, half of this? And it looks like Coach Brickman wants to talk things over. So a timeout taken. Racers take their first of the second half with 9:08 to go in the 3rd. We'll take it with them. Racers up by 3, but a big 3rd down coming up on the other side of this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, back to it. 3rd and 9 here for Newcastle on their own 43-yard line. Jackson Shanuel back to pass for the Racers. Steps up in the pocket, fires to the middle, passes, caught at the 45. That's Heskew. Move the chains. 1st down, Newcastle. We talk about it all the time on the big plays, the 3rd downs. Jackson Shanuel looks for Rex Heskew, and he did so there for a 1st down.
Now, dependable 4 right there, man. And you just look for him. He has that way of just kind of finding that spot, getting free of the defender. And so he did a great job right there getting that 1st down.
So down to the Guthrie 45-yard line. Racers on the move, trying to score some more points. Push this lead out a little bit. Since Newcastle led at 10-0, it's been a one-score game ever since. A lot of lead changes. Handoff to Bradford here up the middle, nothing there. As the Blue Jays shut down the running lanes on that one. And it will be 2nd down and 10 after the no gain.
Yeah, you had Barton, number 35, get around that end a little too fast. Just couldn't quite adjust to it.
So Kellen Herzl in there as well. He's a classic linebacker with the big, neck roll on the back. Intimidating. 2nd down and 10. Caden Longman will go in motion. Here goes behind the quarterback. He'll hand it off to Bradford again, who cuts back up the middle, pushing forward, carrying some guys with him. And he looks like he's going to get about 5 here to set up a 3rd and call it 5 as he gets to the 40-yard line. Good run there by Bradford.
That was a real good run, and just trying to get them spread out. The more spread out you get them, the less layers of defense there are. When you have 3 or 4 receivers out, then you only have to get through the line and the linebackers, and that's what they're trying to do. But those linebackers are playing with speed and with size, so they're not really having a whole lot of success.
3rd down and 5. 3 wide set up at the top. Running back behind Shanuel is, of course, Bradford. Elcision flips sides of the line. He goes from right to left. 3rd and 5, they're going to run that way with Bradford. A little stretch play. He'll cut back, and he's not going to get the 1st down. And in fact, he's only going to get about a yard, maybe a yard and a half. They're inside the 40, and this feels like an area of the field where you often see Coach Jeff Brickman go for it. We'll see what they do here. It looks like they're going to keep the offense out.
Yeah, they're sending Shanuel back out there, getting the play from them. It's one of those things. I don't know if kicking it from your own 43-yard lines or their 43-yard lines worth it.
They're on 30. They're 38.
38,
Got to get to the 35
right.
here on this fourth down. So, yeah, it'd be a real short punt, but it looks like they are going to go for it. Do they put it in the air or do they run it on 4th and 3? We're about to find out. Big play here. Lawman in motion. They're going to fake the handoff to Bradford. Shaniel keeps it himself. Keep the legs moving. Boy, it's going to be close. He's dropped down right at the 35. I think he might be short by just a hair. It's going to depend on the spot. But based off where that official's standing, I think he might be short by a half a yard at most.
Yeah, they're motioning.
They got the stop. They rule him short. So a huge stand by the Guthrie defense. And how do you like that? The first half, which was all offense, the second half starts, both these defenses come through with a big stop.
Wow.
And now Guthrie's going to get the ball back on their own 36-yard line. That felt imperative for the Blue Jays to have a chance to win this game, to get a stop like that. That was big.
That's huge. I think if they'd have made that first down, that had kept that momentum going.
So Guthrie takes back over. 24-21, they trail. Dalen Rice, the quarterback, on their own 36-yard line, right around the midway point of this third quarter. The run to Carlock to the right side, making guys miss. Carlock juking his way out across midfield. A big run by Colton Carlock, and the Blue Jays are on the move into Newcastle territory.
And there's just a lot of 70s and 60s getting up right there by the ball, just getting down the field and making those downfield blocks. A great job by Guthrie. And they'll have to make some adjustments with Newcastle.
Well, Colton Carlock, very similar to T.J. Bradford in his ability to just kind of wiggle through tight spaces in between the tackles. And a big run there gets him 1st and 10 up to the Racer 49. Rice takes a shotgun snap. He'll fake the handoff and keep it himself this time. QB run, not much there. Give him about 2 yards on that one. Did a good job to even get that. As the Racers are all over it. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Well, and got to keep them honest. Got to keep the defense coming forward, not let them sit back there. Here in a second, you'll see him pop back and throw a pass.
2nd down and 8 on the Newcastle 47. There's still, a quarter and a half to go, but you can feel things getting a little tense already right now. Every play feeling like it could be the one that decides your season right now, and which of these teams can get to the state title game. Carlock, a little handoff here, blown up.
Job.
Made one guy miss, but then coming over and wiping him out. Who else? Jackson Shanuel, who has just been so phenomenal this season for Newcastle, offensively and defensively, and he laid the boom on that one. Carlock got about a yard at most. It sets up a 3rd and long.
And it was Fletcher that set that up. I believe Fletcher, number 41. He cut off that side. That's what you got to do as a defensive end. Don't let them run around you. And he drew him right back into Shanuel.
Under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. 3rd and 7 for Guthrie. Another big moment in this game. They're all kind of big at this point, but he's 3rd down. So pivotal. You don't know how many possessions you have left. 3rd and 7. Rice is going to roll out to his left. Going to fire down the sideline. Got a man, but he just overshot him. I don't know if that was miscommunication or if he just missed the throw, as Jace Rainwater kind of set up camp at around the 30. The throw made it seem like the Rice expected him to keep going down the sideline. Not close, not a chance on it, as it's incomplete. It's going to be 4th down.
And it looks like they're going to kick. I think that Rainwater just saw that he had the first down and kind of sat down there, ready to get the first down, but Rice had a different idea.
So, incomplete pass, and it's going to be 4th down. And like you said, it certainly looks like Guthrie's going to punt this away. So the Racer defense stands up again when they needed a stop, and their offense is going to get another shot. Rice does the punting for Guthrie, and he will boot it away. Not a good punt off the side of the foot. It'll bounce to the 30 and skip sideways out of bounds at about the 31. So you only are going to net about 13 yards on that punt for Guthrie. Not what you want if you're Coach Beebe there. You're thinking, let's at least pin him back deep, play some defense. Didn't really get that there.
Right, and they need to come out. They're going to have to act like they're coming into halftime right now. They've got to get down and get another touchdown to kind of release some of the tension going on right now.
So the Newcastle offense will come back out with 4:33 to go. Had a chance to push it to 2 scores a moment ago and couldn't quite capitalize on it. Can they do so this time around? As Shanuel heads back out in this Newcastle offense, this rushing attack, can they put together a drive right now when they really need one, up by 3, trying to extend this lead? 1st down run to Bradford to the right side, spins forward through some arm tackles, and picks up 5 on 1st down, which we talk about all the time. 4 or 5 yard gains on 1st down has been a forte for the Racers offense. They get one there.
And what I liked is instead of kind of putting 3 receivers, 4 receivers out there, they went back to kind of their traditional offensive stance. Had one receiver at the top, one at the bottom, had the rest of them in their block, and it looked like double tight end. And so I enjoy seeing them kind of getting back to that.
Closing down on the 4-minute mark to play in the third quarter. It feels like that clock is just melting off. You can feel this game getting to the nitty-gritty quickly. Second down. Shanuel will hand it off to Bradford to the right side. Got some blockers. It's a first down and spun down at the 44. But a nice run by T.J. Bradford hitting the hole hard. They're actually going to give him the 45-yard line, and it's going to be 1st and 10 there.
And that was a great job. They ran Caden in motion. And so he comes around. They had 3 blockers in front of him, and then also the line heading that direction as well.
So it's a 1st and 10 up to the Newcastle 45-yard line. Shanuel in the shotgun. Bradford deep back behind him. They'll go back to Bradford again. Keep feeding him up the middle, across midfield, down to the 46. So they're going to call him down short of that at about the 48, but it's a 7-yard gain on first down as T.J. Bradford's starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm right now. This rushing attack finding its footing.
And you're seeing the line really moving them like I hadn't seen them moving before.
Right back to it, going back to Bradford again, cutting forward. Not much, maybe a yard or two. It looks like he's going to be short of the marker. I think that was Plagg again who got the initial lick on him that kind of stunted his momentum. They are going to call him short by about a yard, 3rd and 1. Bradford will come off the field. This feels like a spot where Jackson Shanuel runs it himself more often than not. We'll see if that's what they elect to do here on 3rd and 1.
I can't see over there, but I wonder if Rogers is in there. I don't see
a running back,
no.
So you certainly would think this would be a QB run. Snap to Shanuel. It is going to be just that. Right up the gut, first down. Got it. Running over, guys. Inside the 40, down near the 38.
That's good. I love when they bring in those 2 heavy blockers and put them right behind the left guard and left tackle. And that time they crossed over, went to the other side of the ball, and just opened up a hole for him over there.
Boy, this rushing attack for Newcastle right now, this whole drive's been on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And it's doing 2 things. Obviously moving the ball, but it's also moving the clock. And again, don't want to harp on the clock too much. We're still in the third quarter, but you continue to work it down and score a touchdown here. You shrunk the game in a major way.
Oh.
And now we have a flag here before the snap. Looks like they're going to get Newcastle on a false start, which is what you don't want to do when you're moving the ball well. So it's a false start on Newcastle. We'll back them up from the 39 to the 44 with 2:11 to go in the third quarter.
Well, and I didn't see it. They had 3 players
in
motion, which that could have been what started it. One of them maybe leaning forward or something.
And we've seen that a lot this year.
Yes.
It's game 13. It feels like at least once or twice a game, we've seen those motions get flagged this season, and one there. Final 2 minutes of the third. It's 1st and 15 now after the penalty. Shanuel. Handoff, Bradford the right side. A little hesitation, and explodes forward inside the 40. So they're going to give him the 38-yard line. So back around the original line of scrimmage.
That was a great run. He ran over 2 defensive guys. Looked like number 24 got the brunt of it there, Clayton Carpenter.
It's like just a little stutter in there. Then he just bursted forward.
I love that. Being a short guy myself, I love it when he goes in and ducks and then comes out and runs.
2nd down and 9. Shanuel back on the ground again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This one not going to go for much, though, as a late flag comes in. The run didn't go for much at all, maybe a yard at most, but there's a flag down. We'll see what that call is for.
It looked like there was a hand close to the face mask. I don't know if that's what the call is going to be.
It seemed, it could be, and that you nailed it, Billy. Good job. Is it going to be a personal foul, a face mask on Guthrie? And, boy, that's a massive call, to say the least. Instead of 3rd down and about 9 or 10, it's going to be a 15-yard penalty and a first down for Newcastle on the outskirts of the red zone. That's a huge call. Huge.
Massive.
And that's one, if you're Coach Beebe, you're pulling your hair out. I mean, that's a tough one in that spot. 3rd and long into a 1st and 10 at the 20, looks like 322-yard line. Newcastle on the move. Man in motion is Cragg. He goes across the line of scrimmage. He'll hand it to Bradford again, punching his way forward. And he's down about the 18 ball. Did it come out at the end of that? It did! It's a fumble, and Guthrie's got it! So the Racers are marching down the field, and the ball came out loose. Very, a similar play to the Guthrie fumble down inside the 5 earlier, where you just didn't see it among the mass of bodies. And then all of a sudden, It was Newcastle earlier. This time, Guthrie just comes out with the football. It's a turnover. What a massive play for the Blue Jays. Newcastle just marching down the field. And now Guthrie takes over inside their own 20. Wow, that's huge.
Man, you just did not want to see that.
Yeah, worst thing to possibly happen for Newcastle. And second life here for Guthrie as they're back on offense. First down run doesn't go for much, maybe a yard. Boy, Billy, I mean, they're marching down the field. This third quarter is almost completely ran off. You're thinking if they keep this going and score 10, 11 minutes to go, you're up by 10. Not over by any means, but you're in great shape. Instead, a big turnover and Guthrie taking over here.
Well, that puts the pressure on them. They have to play catch-up.
Yeah, right.
They can't just play their regular game. They've got to look at what they've got to get as fast as possible.
Give him a yard on that first down, 2nd and 9. Rice will fake the handoff. He'll fire slant route. Pass is caught. Got some room to run out near the 40. Spun down just shy of the 45 is Maddox Vaughn, junior wideout. There was a lot of bodies, a lot of traffic in there, but another really good throw by Dalen Rice threading the needle. And Guthrie's on the move now out near the 44-yard line.
And that's what we were talking about. You get them kind of lulled, and that's what happened. You had a defensive back give him too much space. He cut to the inside and got the pass.
Didn't have to snap it, but they do. Handoff to Carlock, exploding up the middle. He's across midfield and out near another first down, so they're going to mark him just short. It'll be 2nd down and call it 1 whenever we start the fourth quarter. So after all that offense in the first half, no points in the third quarter, and we are going to the final frame of this 5A semi with Newcastle clinging to a 3-point lead. Don't go anywhere. A very big-time and exciting finish coming up after this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
This back-to-school season, give your home the connection it deserves with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Experience the power of Wi-Fi 6 technology for smoother streaming, gaming, and learning. And with the Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi app, managing your home network is a breeze. Choose from multiple plans with symmetrical speeds for lightning-fast uploads and downloads. Get your family school-ready with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Sign up today at gopioneer.com.
All right, back to Putnam City Pirate Stadium in Oklahoma City. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier. As we go to start the fourth quarter presented by Focus Federal Credit Union. Drive your dreams with their competitive rates and flexible terms. For more than 69 years, Focus Federal Credit Union has continued to deliver innovative products and services to our members about all things financial by anticipating needs and delivering exceptional member service. Seen with their Tri-City branch, 1097 Northwest 32nd Street in Newcastle. Member FDIC. We start the fourth quarter. Guthrie with the ball. Flea flicker. Carlack back to Rice. He's going to fire deep. Got one-on-one down there. Picked off. Schumard pulled it down inside the 10.
That was great. They saw that coming the whole way. Now we got a late flag out there.
It looks like the play, I don't want to speak too soon here. I don't know if the play will stand up or not. You're right. There's a flag down right about where the ball was caught. It was Amari Watson who Rice was looking for down the field. It was just a one-on-one jump ball situation, and Schumard skied for it and pulled it down. It's going to be a sideline warning on Newcastle, so play will stand.
Wow.
Newcastle takes over as Alex Schumard with a massive interception taking over inside the 10. Boy, Billy, in all of the Racers' biggest wins this year, it feels like there's been a huge interception at the heart of it. We'll see what happens. We got a whole quarter to go here, but big play there, to say the least.
And we have to give that one to Carson. During the commercial break, he said we need an interception.
Carson called it.
Prophet Carson.
So the Racers get a massive turnover. They take over inside their 10, still up by 3. Alex Schumard skying forward and pulling it down. And here come the Racers back on offense. The QB keeper for Shanuel somehow found a way to battle forward for a couple on that. Boy, most quarterbacks, that's a loss of a few, but he somehow just, his 6'4", 220, whatever he is, frame, battling his way forward and getting a few yards out of it.
I think that's him down there.
Yeah, there's an injured racer down. It might be Shanuel.
I think so. It's holding his leg up like it's cramping or something.
They're checking on him. They'll tend to him. We'll go ahead and step aside. 11:36 to go. Injured player down for the Racers, who lead by 3, trying to hang on in this 5A semi on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
This back-to-school season, give your home the connection it deserves with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Experience the power of Wi-Fi 6 technology for smoother streaming, gaming, and learning. And with the Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi app, managing your home network is a breeze. Choose from multiple plans with symmetrical speeds for lightning-fast uploads and downloads. Get your family school-ready with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Sign up today at gopioneer.com.
All right, back to it here. It was Shanuel who was helped off the field. He's got a little bit of a hitch in his giddy up. Hopefully he can get back out there. So it's Caden Longman at quarterback now for Newcastle on this 2nd down and 7. Longman will hand it off to Bradford, who runs forward for a few. And he'll get up to about the 13-yard line or so, and it'll set up a 3rd down and 5.
Well, and that was a good one. You know, you bring in Longman in like that, just hand it off, let him run. Looks like Shanuel's coming back in the game.
Yep, right back in there is Big Jackson Shanuel. Or is he?
No,
I think Longman's still in there.
Yeah, that may be Alcision.
And Shanuel's here on the near side getting stretched out. So Longman is still in there at quarterback with Bradford the running back. But what a chance here for Guthrie to get a quick 3-and-out, force Newcastle to punt it out of their own end, and get their offense right back out. They're still down just 3. Longman on 3rd down. He'll throw. Drop back to pass. Fires. Passes. Caught by Schumard. Down the sideline. This is going to be a 1st down and then some. Ooh. Way out near the 30. A big hit at the tail end of it. It was a little kind of, I'm hesitant to call it a bubble screen. It was a screen play, but he kind of dropped back, let the brush come at him, dumped it off to Schumard, who was waiting on that near sideline, and he was able to slither his way forward out for a 1st down.
And that was a great job of blocking there by the receivers.
Big play call there by Coach Brickman. Worked to perfection. 1st and 10, Longman QB keeper, nothing. Guthrie read it like a book. And once again, Plagg, who we've said his name a ton tonight, was the first man in there, blowing that play up for a loss of a couple.
Yeah, he lost 3 on that one. You got Shanuel coming back in now, definitely. I saw him.
No pump fakes from Billy this time,
No.
as Jackson Shanuel is back in there at quarterback for this 2nd down and 13 is what it's called officially on the board, on their own 25-yard line. As we run under 10 minutes to go in this 5A semi. Everyone in here is on their feet, by the way. I'm pretty much every fan that I'm kind of surveying. Everyone standing can feel the tension in the air. Handoff to Bradford up the middle, not much there. Maybe a yard or so. This is probably as little effectiveness if we've seen Newcastle running between the tackles at any point this season. We've seen Bradford get loose a bunch. Most of those have been kind of those stretch plays around the edge, but between the tackles, it hasn't really been there tonight.
No, and the line, you're looking at the size, or if you're watching on NFHS, they got some real size on their defensive line, and it's matching up pretty good with the size on ours. So there's really a battle going on.
3rd down and long here. 3rd and 11 is what it's on the board. 3rd and 12 on our bug. As Shanuel's going to fire deep. Got one-on-one looking for Longman. Boy, he had a step on him as Caden Longman just streaking down the middle of the field. It was one-on-one with Carlock. Hey, Shanuel led him just a tick too far. And it's going to be 4th down with 9:06 to go. Don't know what choice you have here other than to punt. Yeah. And hope your defense can come through again. Boy, it's amazing how this game has shifted. It was all about the offenses, and now neither offense can find a way to put together a drive.
And you got to compliment the adjustments they made at halftime.
Yep.
It's really kind of settled it down there. So
it looks like they will send out the punt team. Medrano heading out. There's a little bit of a hesitation, but Medrano will come out and will boot this away. Carlock will go back to return for Guthrie. And this Racer defense, which has been sensational in the second half, is going to have to find a way to come through again, hanging on to that 3-point lead. Carlock standing on the Racer 40 as he waits the punt from Medrano, who didn't get all of it. He kind of got under it. In fact, it's not going to go very far at all. Bounces at about the Racer 45 and kicks sideways out of bounds at the 44. Wow. So Guthrie's going to set up on the Newcastle 44-yard line down by just 3 points with 8:59 to go.
Holy
moly,
like
Billy.
you said, it's just tense. Everything.
It is. You can feel it.
Now.
You can feel it. Everyone in here standing. It's. You can feel it. I mean, it's the whole season. You know, you battle. You're playing December football. Careers waning for all these seniors. Only one of these teams can move on to next Saturday night and play for a state championship. Who's it going to be? Guthrie trying to make sure it's them as they go back on offense at the 44-yard line. Carlock next to Rice in the backfield. They'll fake the jet sweep and hand it to Carlock, who breaks through the left side, breaking a tackle. Carlock's loose down the sideline, inside the 30, inside the red zone, 10-5, touchdown, Guthrie. Colton Carlock, 44 yards to the house, and the Blue Jays have got the lead.
Wow, and you just kind of waited for that the whole game. You know, he's been there. Well, you said at the first of the game, he's been their offense, and tonight he hasn't been, real successful being a part of that offense. They've been doing it with the pass, and then there he goes, just kind of cut threw off a couple of tackles and ran all the way
what
in.
What a run for Colton Carlock. Broke a couple tackles, then, like you said, you saw the speed. Third touchdown run of the night for the senior Colton Carlock, and with 8:49 to go, Guthrie is back in the lead. Big extra point here to make it a 4-point game. Spot down, kick up, and through. 8:49 to play, and Guthrie is back in front. Can the Racers answer? We're going to find out shortly here in the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We are engineers, scientists, and analysts, the roughnecks, pipe fitters, and welders. We are the workforce that produces Oklahoma's oil and natural gas. We find and deliver the energy that makes this state and country go. We do it better, more safely, with more care for our shared environment than anyone in the world. We do it because our prosperity, our national security, and our way of life depends on us. We do it because we love it.
It's no secret that life is busy and you have a million things on your to-do list. Here at Community Bank of Oklahoma, we've made banking simple again.
We can help you get to the important things in life, like the big game tonight.
We do all the heavy lifting, so you don't have to.
Race towards us at Community Bank of Oklahoma, because we wouldn't be a community without you.
All right, back here at Putnam City Pirate Stadium, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier, fourth quarter of this 5A semi. A 44-yard touchdown run for Colton Carlock puts the Guthrie Blue Jays in the lead 28-24. But the Racers have still plenty of time to try and make a rebuttal here in this second half. Pooch kickoff here, and coming into field at the 30 is Heskew, who makes a guy miss, and he'll be tackled down at about the 40-yard line. That's what Guthrie has elected to do tonight. They've all night been pooching those kickoffs, not allowing Cade Longman or Ben Rogers to really get a good kickoff return, but they've been willing to trade off the Racers setting up all their offensive drives around the 40-yard line, and that'll be the case here again as they'll start on their own 41.
And that's a gamble, to let them get all the way to the 40.
Pick your poison.
Right, but it also it saves the players. They're not trying to do the run back, so it's done well tonight, I guess.
Well, here we go. You don't want, there's still time, but kind of feels like the season right now for Newcastle offensively. The senior quarterback, Jackson Sheen's had a phenomenal year. Can he get his team down the field, down by 4 with 8:44 left in the 5A state semi? Shaniel back to throw. Pressure coming. He's had to get rid of it. He throws that to nobody as it falls incomplete. Boy, he's fortunate that Kellen Herzl, the linebacker for Guthrie, I don't think he ever saw the ball. That ball, Shaniel just had to kind of get rid of it, and Herzl never saw it. It ended up landing just a couple of yards from him. You could almost see the Guthrie sideline. Everyone was saying, look for the ball. It's right there.
Yeah.
But thankfully for Newcastle, lands harmlessly on the turf, incomplete.
And he got hit pretty hard.
Yeah, the pressure came in. They blitzed, and there was nobody there to pick it up. So Newcastle fortunate that play wasn't something disastrous, frankly. Incomplete pass makes it 2nd and 10. Shaniel will throw. 4 wide set, Bradford the running back. He'll fake it, and now he'll have to throw it away again. Same kind of deal as a fake handoff to Bradford, a little play action, but the pressure getting home so quick that Jackson Shaniel, no time for the play to develop, had to just throw it away. And this Guthrie pass rush which I don't think they've sacked Shaniel tonight that I can recall right off the top of my head. But they're getting home now, and back-to-back throwaways has it 3rd and 10.
Well, and they're going to have to think of something. Again, we talked about the first of the game. They've got to get it out of the backfield fast.
Yeah.
And they're pinning their ears back right now. They're daring them to run. It's maybe one of those times let them overrun the play.
3rd down and 10. Is it 4-down territory at this point in the game? We'll see if it comes to that. That might influence the 3rd and 10 play call. Shaniel's going to drop back to throw. Deep drop back. Good clean pocket. He'll step up. He's going to try and take off and run with it, and he gets tripped up from behind. He only gains a few. In fact, they're actually going to give him about 1, maybe 2 at most. Looks like about 1. And it's going to be 4th and long, and it looks like the Racers are probably going to punt and play defense here as Medrano's heading out.
Well, you have to applaud the Guthrie defense.
They've stepped up in the second half.
Yeah, those
tremendously.
Play calls.
So the Guthrie defense stands up again, still with over 8 minutes to go. Coach Brickman going to trust his defense, and they're going to punt this away to try and get one more stop at least. Still a ways to go here, but get a stop and get their offense another shot at it. Another penalty right on the snap here as Medrano boots the punt away. It'll bounce to take a big Newcastle roll. Look at this, all the way down to about the 10-yard line, maybe the 11, but we'll see what the penalty flag is.
Much better punt that time.
Waiting for an official call here on the penalty flag. As this Guthrie defense, the first half, Newcastle, right before halftime, in 36 seconds, went down and scored to take the lead. Kind of felt like the Racer offense could do no wrong at that point. Coach Beebe and this staff have made some significant adjustments, and Newcastle's offense has just never really seemed to get much of a groove. Other than that one drive where it ended up in the Bradford fumble, they haven't had a lot of rhythm.
And now they're going to have to make their own adjustments on defense and on offense. Looks like a legal procedure.
It's a penalty on the Racers that's going to force them to punt it again, which is unfortunate because that was a great punt by Medrano. But if you're Guthrie, that's a no-brainer. Punt that again as far as taking it on the kick or a re-kick. So Newcastle's going to have to try this again as the ball will get backed up to their own 37, and they'll have to punt it again.
Well, and he's got the leg. He's going to have to get all of it. They didn't come after him that last time. That let him get a little more leg.
Gave him time to set his feet and blast. A little more pressure this time. Not a good punt. Not a good punt at all. It might have been partially blocked because that didn't go anywhere, as it's going to be rolled down and spotted at the 43-yard line of Newcastle. Our producer, Carson Wade, says he thinks Guthrie got a piece of it. So not a good punt, and the decision to make him repunt was a good one. About a 50-yard difference in field position from the first punt to the second punt. And Guthrie sets up on the Racer 43-yard line with 7:33 to go, already leading by 4.
Well, let's see what adjustments the defense is making here to see if they can put a stop to this.
This is a do-or-die spot here for the Racer defense. You got to find a way to keep Guthrie out of the end zone here. Can't afford to go down 2 scores. Rice, handoff to Carlock to the right side. Nothing there. Good play on first down as he's going to lose about a yard there. Multiple black jerseys coming in and blowing that one up.
Yeah, they're hitting down there. They're hitting hard. And you see Shaniel there. He's been a little gimpy here after the offensive series, but he came in with the shoulder first and put a hit on him.
And if you're Guthrie, the clock is your friend. You're going to take your time here between snaps because you're the Blue Jays and you're thinking if we can use 4 or 5 minutes and score, famoso, it's over, right? And that's the mindset if you're Coach Beebe and the Blue Jays right now.
Right, if you can get it under 30 seconds, because they scored in 37.
That's true. Second down, fake the pitch, Rice will run. We saw them do this with success earlier. This time, not so much. Shoestring tackle made by Shaniel. He got a yard at most, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 10 now. So a chance of the Racers to get a real quick 3-and-out, which is exactly what you need to get the offense back out there. We'll see what happens on 3rd and 10.
And there'll be a heck of a decision for Beebe to make if they don't make the first down.
Yeah,
they don't even
I think
close.
If you can get it at least to 4th and 5 or so, you definitely go for it. If it's still around this area, that's a hard call. I think you almost have to punt.
Pin them
but
deep.
We'll see. We'll see what happens on 3rd down here first. 10 on the play clock as they're taking all their time, as they should, trying to milk this thing down. Rice takes a shotgun snap. He'll fire over to Carlock in the flat. Carlock makes one guy miss. He's juking around. Still got to get forward at some point. A flag comes in at the tail end. Meanwhile, Carlock goes down for no gain. did a good job making guys miss, but there was just nothing forward, no space to get down the field with. So it's a very quick 3-and-out, but we'll have to see what the flag is.
Well, they had a Newcastle.
They're going to wave it off.
Good.
They're going to wave off the flag, which is good for Newcastle.
Yes.
I mean, when the play is to your benefit, you don't want flags. You're good with it. So it's a very quick 3-and-out for Guthrie, and it'll be 4th and 10 coming up. You assume a punt, and this Racer offense will get another crack at it.
Yeah, that was just excellent. He looked up. He dodged that one tackle, but when he looked up, there was just a wall of black jerseys. He wasn't going to get around them, so it was good defense that time.
So the clock will start to roll once more as we're past the midway point of this fourth quarter. And they're going to take all their time. There's 30 seconds on the play clock. The punt team is out there, but there's no reason to snap it. They might go ahead and snap it, and there they are. They're going to snap with 30 seconds on the play clock. Rice, a line drive punt, will bounce to the 20. Fielding on a hop is Heskew, and he gets blown up, but fielding on a hop there saved potentially, who knows, but potentially saved some field position. But it's going to be Racer ball on their own 18-yard line with 5:36 left. And the key, obviously, Billy, and I'm stating something very obvious, they're down by 4. You got to get in the end zone here. So you got to go 82 yards on this drive.
Well, and you said it earlier, this is the game.
Yeah.
Right here. This is a game. If you don't get it in the end zone, they can slow it down as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. And the Racers have 2 timeouts left to work with, but it does feel like everything kind of hinges on this drive right now. You never know. Crazy things happen. There are twists and turns, but it feels like this drive is going to decide a lot in this game.
If you're going to leave it on the field, you leave it now.
1st and 10 for Newcastle on their own 18. You got to go 82 yards to try and get the lead back in this 5A semi. Shane will hand off to Bradford to the left side. He'll jet forward. The ball came out, but the Racers recover it. Boy, the ball came shooting out. I think that recovering that, I believe that was Nick Lozano, 76, who caught that ball out of the air. Bradford got pummeled. The ball came shooting out, and Lozano caught it in the air to avoid the turnover. Now we have a stoppage. I'm not sure what for. Is it for an injured player? Bradford a little slow to get up. He took a shot on that.
It's for Bradford. He's going to have to come out. Yeah, he was trying to count the grass there for a second or two.
So he gains 5 yards. It was a good run on 1st down, but he got popped at the end of it. Ball came flying out, but Lozano, the O-lineman, catches it out of the air to avoid the turnover.
There goes that rumor they can't catch.
2nd and 5. Shane will throw. Dangerous pass, and it's going to be incomplete. It was that delayed screen pass, which Racers at the play they like and is often very successful, but Darion Whitehorn read it all the way, and that was scary when it left Shanuel's hand. You felt like he had a beat on it to maybe try and intercept the ball, but he does get the pass break up, and it'll be 3rd and 5.
Well, I'll tell you, if he hadn't stepped towards that pass, it would have been a pick 6.
Schumacher did a good job playing some defense there. 3rd and 5. You figure probably 4-down territory at this point, even though they're way backed up with where the clock is. You'd be scared a little bit to punt it away again. We'll see. 3rd and 5. Fake the handoff. Shane will throw. Pressure coming. He'll bounce over to his left. Got some time. He's going to fire to the far side. 1-on-1. Incomplete. Was looking for Schumard, I believe the intended target there. There's an injured Racer down around the middle of the field. Slow to get up is Heskew. I'm not sure what happened there, but he's back on his feet. As it's going to be 4th down. And it looks like the Racers are going to punt. I'm a little surprised. Even though they're on their own 23 with 4:58 to go, it looks like they're going to punt again. So they're going to trust their defense to find a way to come through with another big stop. But, I mean, at this point, with 4:58 to go, 2 timeouts, if you're Guthrie, 1 or 2 first downs, and you're going to really do some damage on that clock. So the Racers are going to punt, though, on 4th and 5, and now Guthrie's going to take their first timeout. Maybe with some final things like, hey, they faked it once already. Be ready, because you never know at this point. What would you do here, Billy? Would you be going for this? It's a tough call, I admit. I mean, you're on your own 23-yard line. If you don't get it, the game's not over, but Guthrie is in prime position to go for a, potentially clinching touchdown if they can just finish that off and punch it in. But what you're scared of if you're punting is you never get the ball again. That's the fear.
Right. Well, and the decisions to make, if you go for it and don't make it, then you're probably giving yourself more time because they don't have much field. I mean, they're gonna get in there, but then you're going to be down by two scores.
Yeah.
But if you go for it, I mean, What a tense thing to do. I've never claimed to be a genius. I don't know what I would do.
You also got to consider the fact, too, that the punt game has not been great for the Racers tonight.
Right.
Normally great, normally reliable, but a couple of not Brian Madrano's best punts tonight, and they are going to go with him here. So it's going to be a punt for Newcastle on their own 23-yard line. Carlock back to return. He's on about his own 45. Madrano will step in and boot this one. Solid punt. It'll go out at about the 45 of Newcastle, or of Guthrie, excuse me. They're going to give him the 47. So Guthrie sets up on their own 47 with 4:52 to go. Can this Racer defense find a way to come through once again and give their offense at least one more shot down by 4?
This would be a great time for Caden Longman to just step in front of a pass.
Yeah, we've seen that this season a few times.
Well, like he said in the newspaper, he said, watch the quarterback's eyes. Okay,
there you go.
Watch them now. Let's see what happens.
But what a tale of two halves this game. All about the offense in the first half. The second half, it's been the defenses making the plays. Newcastle needs at least one more big one from theirs. 1st and 10 on their own 47. 2 receivers set for the Blue Jays. Carlock will get the handoff blown up. Nothing there at all. He lost a couple of yards. And how about T.J. Bradford, the one in the backfield, making the play?
Yeah, that was a great job. He got around that defensive end and the tight end, or not defensive end, the guard there, and also the tight end to just get right in the way of his run. So that was a great job by him.
Loss of 2 makes it 2nd down and 12. Again, Guthrie's going to slow play it, as they should. Work that clock down. They don't have to snap it till about 4:05, 4:06 to go here in this fourth quarter. Racers needing another big stop from their defense. They're going to snap it now. Rice, handoff to Carlock. He'll hesitate a little bit and scoot forward for a gain of about 4 to the 49, and it brings up a 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, they only gave him 2 on that one. It's kind of surprising.
4. It was they were behind
by
by 2.
You're right. You're right.
You're good. So it's going to be 3rd down and 8 as we run under 4 minutes to go. I was a little surprised they snapped with about 10 seconds on the play clock still there. I mean, every second is huge at this point in the game. And if you're Newcastle, you'll take all the extra seconds. Any little area where you can save a little time, you'll take it.
Well, and I think they feel that they're going to have to score again. They may be still trying to score.
3:38 to go, under 10 seconds on the play clock. A massive 3rd down here, obviously. Racers need a stop. Rice going to pump fake once, go QB run up the middle. Got some room. It's going to be a 1st down inside the 40. He's still on his feet. Rice is loose down the left sideline. Can he get to the corner? It's a race. He will. Touchdown, Guthrie. Dalen Rice, 51 yards. What a play call by Kelly Beebe. Nobody really expecting it. We weren't expecting it. And Rice took off, and nobody could get him after he made a couple guys miss. 51 yards to the house.
Well, just a great fake there, too, with Carlock. And you saw about half the defense go over and shift to that side. And then he just took off running, ran through a couple of tackles, and just great speed.
Wow. Dalen Rice, who's been very good tonight, the sophomore quarterback, just took off, and there was all that room on that side. Made a couple of guys miss, a couple of great moves, and he goes all the way with it. Extra point is up and through, and with 3:21 to go, Guthrie has a 35-24 lead. Racers need a lot to happen, and a lot to happen quickly. We'll see if they can get something going after this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
All right, back here at Putnam City Pirate Stadium, Josh Callaway, Billy Collier, 51-yard touchdown run by the sophomore quarterback, Dalen Rice. maybe the dagger. We'll see what happens over the final 3:21, but it sure puts Newcastle behind the 8 ball, down by 11. Kickoff is away, fielded inside the 15 by Caden Longman. He'll take it to the far side and be wrapped down at about the 30 with 3:15 to go. So, Billy, obviously, the odds are stacked against you now if you're Newcastle. That touchdown run, a body blow to say the least.
Yes.
You got 2 timeouts. You got to be thinking, get down the field and score as fast as possible. Try an onside kick. We've seen crazier things. I need to bring up 2020 cash.
I know.
And then, even if you don't get it, if you can save your timeouts, you could theoretically still play defense, get the ball back. That's thinking ahead, but it obviously starts with putting together a drive right now. You need a lot to happen, but you got to take it one at a time, one play at a time right now as you try to pull something out here. Down by 11 on their own 30. Shaniel's going to throw. He'll drop back, fire to the far side. Pass is caught at the 45-yard line and out of bounds. That's going to be big to stop the clock. As that one pulled in by Rex Heskew. Every second you can save is massive at this point on this drive.
Yeah, it's just huge. And you got to get down there. You got to score. You got to go for 2. Then you just need a field goal.
Yeah, good point.
So they just got to get down that field fast.
So clock holds at 3:10 on their own 45. Lawman will go in motion. Shaniel drops back to pass. He'll step up. Some pressure, and he's wrangled down and sacked. Ball might have came out at the end. Waiting for an official signal. Looks like they're going to say it's still racer ball, but it's going to be a big loss on first down as the pass rush for Guthrie, which was not overly effective for most of this game, has been a major X factor in the fourth quarter. I think that's their first sack, but they've made Shane have to throw it away, and that one is a brutal gut punch on the drive as it's now 2nd and 20 way back at the 35. Finally up to the line, Shane will try and throw for it. Over the middle, pass caught. Heskew makes a man miss, carrying a guy with him. That's going to be a first down across the 45, down to the 43.
Wow. It just snapped right back like that. That's one of the things about being a senior and being relaxed back there as quarterback. The bad play, he just comes up and puts it right back where he needs to.
Clock stopped for a moment there as they set the chains. It's back running now. 1st and 10 at the 43. Shane will throw again. He's going to fire deep down the middle of the field. Incomplete. There's a flag down, as there was bodies strewn across the field in the middle as Schumard was down along with Darion Whitehorn. I don't know if that's where the penalty is going to be. Meanwhile, Shaniel took a shot on that throw. He's slow to get up as he's clearly laboring here down the stretch of this game, trying to gut it out.
Well, he took it. One defensive guy went down
smoked
to the legs, and the other one hit him up at the shoulder pads.
It looks like the penalty's on Guthrie.
Well,
okay. I didn't see the signal for what it was, but it's on the Blue Jays. I think it might be, was it a personal foul? Because they gave him 15 on that.
That's what it looks like.
Might have been pass interference. I didn't see the signal, unfortunately. My apologies. But it's a 15-yard penalty on Guthrie. It gets it up to the 27-yard line. So Newcastle's got some time. You got a shot here. You got to find a way to get in the end zone. That's step one. Shane will throw. Pressure coming. He'll take off to the right side. And he's going to step back now, fire, looking for Bradford off the fingertips. Boy, Bradford, if he could have pulled that down, it would have been 1st and goal, but couldn't quite catch it. And it'll fall incomplete with 2:12 to go.
And that was a good job by Shanuel to try and get that in there, and if he misses it, it's incomplete pass, the clock stops.
Yeah.
So that was a good play by Shanuel, smart heads up.
If you can find a way to score here for Newcastle while preserving your 2 timeouts, you're still going to try an onside kick, but it gives you a little bit more of hope that you could stop it, play defense, maybe get one more last shot. That's, again, thinking ahead. We'll see if they try to preserve those. 2nd and 10, they'll throw for it. Shanuel fire, step back out, one-on-one in the corner, looking for Boykins. Incomplete. It was just a tick behind him. He almost caught it, but it falls to the turf, and it's going to be 3rd and 10 with 2:06 to go. Now, let me ask you this. You don't get this on 3rd down, do you try the field goal? Because you could cut it to 8, and then you leave yourself some time. That's another thing that Coach Brickman's going to have to be thinking about right now on this 3rd down play call.
I would probably say yes. I think you get that.
Get it back to 1 score, and then play defense or the onside kick.
Because you also save yourself more time that way if you get the onside kick.
So it's going to be 3rd and 10 for Newcastle at the Guthrie 27-yard line. Bradford, the running back next to Shanuel, who will throw. Drops back, but there's a flag right on the snap, and that's going to be a 5-yard penalty on the Racers as a man left early. That's a killer. I mean, every we talk about every second, every yard is precious at this point as well. So a 5-yard penalty will back them up, make it 3rd and 15. Down to back to the 32.
Every time the ball goes backwards, it takes the air out of the momentum of your offense. And that's what we've seen tonight. That's what we've seen all season. Just frustrating.
3rd and 15. Do the Racers have a big offensive play in them to at least get a manageable field goal or keep the drive going? 3rd and 15. Shania will fire down the sideline looking for Boykins again. One-on-one. He never saw it. Boykins never saw the ball. I still don't know if he realized that they threw it to him. As he went down the sideline, never locked eyes with Shanuel. And it falls incomplete, and it's going to be 4th and 15 on the 32. I think if you didn't have that penalty, you probably would be thinking about the field goal here. But back to the 32, that's near a 50-yarder. That's asking a lot in cold weather. And so I think you have no choice but to go for it. And this is going to be essentially the game here for Newcastle on 4th and 15. Any shot they got to find a way to pick this up. 4th and 15.
Here they come.
Jackson Shaniel back to pass. Pressure coming. He'll fire to the far side. It's caught by Heskew at the 16. Did he get it? It's going to depend on the spot. He's right at the marker. They gave it to him. First down.
Woo.
He goes out of bounds right at about the 17. Boy, that's right where the marker is. I couldn't tell where the spot was. We have a beam here that I'm looking around. I mean, he got it by
inches.
Yeah, you're talking a quarter of the ball. But they do give it to him.
Maybe inch, not inches.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 17. Racers still alive. Shania will throw again. Down near side. Did he get the foot down looking for Longman? He did.
And
at the 7-yard line, out of bounds with 1:49 to go. That might be another first down. It's going to be close.
Yeah, I haven't seen them move or anything.
I got to go standing. My head cut off on the stream, but I got to be able to see. I can tell the people.
You do the Barry Switzer.
Yeah. And they're going to call him just short. So it's 2nd down and 1 is what they're calling this at the 8-yard line. Shanuel in the shotgun again. Racers trying to frantically get the end zone, have a shot. Shanuel will throw. He'll fire in the middle of the field. Pass is caught by Craig. Touchdown, Newcastle, with 1:44 left. And it's now a 5-point game. You figure a 2-point conversion attempt coming here. Zach Cragg, the touchdown catch.
Good hands. Great job of
How about
Zach.
that?
New this year, hadn't really said his name too much or at all last year. So great job, good hands, and they are going to go for 2. So
yeah, it makes sense.
I wonder if they're going to do kind of the beef block. You know, Shanny will line up just behind those big guys and see what happens.
So it's 35-30. This is obviously huge, the 2-point. I mean, it doesn't matter if you don't get the ball back, but you would much rather be down 3 as opposed to down 5. Going to go for 2 here. Jackson Shane on the shotgun. Bradford, the running back. Now they're going to shift around the whole. Boy, this is one where I really wish we had video. This formation is something. Shane's going to take the direct snap and run to the right, and he tries to dive forward, but they're going to say he's short. They mark him short by half a yard or so. The entire offensive line shifted down to the near side. Shano then ran to the right with basically no blocker, just tried to will his way in, but wasn't able to get there.
Again, game of inches.
Game of inches.
Just right there. This would be one of those ones, if it was college or pro, I'd be looking for my red flag. It was that close.
It was close. So 1:42 is what the clock reads. You figure an onside kick coming here, but this is what I talked about with preserving the 2 timeouts. Even if you don't get the onside, if you go 3 and out, you should be able to get the ball back with, less than a minute, no timeout. It's not ideal, but a shot if you can get a 3 and out. So the Racers have still got a little bit of hope here, a little bit of life. Don't go anywhere just yet.
No,
we'll see.
don't. We watched them right before the half, scored 37 seconds. I think right there they scored in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And so the game's not over.
They did a great job on that drive of working the sidelines, saving the little bit of time when and where they could. That was big. So here you go. They get down the field. They score 35-30. Now your mark. And I presume we have an onside kick coming here. We'll see. It looks like it's going to be Pfeiffer, 81, which certainly seems to suggest that is indeed going to be the case here on the onside kick. We joke about it all season long. For people who haven't been with us, Guthrie fans tuned in, Racers have got about 3 or 4 different kickers they use with regularity. It depends on the situation. Apparently, I don't know if we've had it come up all year, but Toby Pfeiffer's the onside kick guy, evidently.
Right. And he's getting us up there.
How you feeling over there?
Lost all my consonants there for a second.
So Toby Pfeiffer, here we go. He's going to walk up and try the onside. It's going to be a little squibber, and it's going to roll down and be recovered right about midfield by Jace Rainwater. There is a flag down right at the line of scrimmage. I'm assuming it's because a guy left early,
which
they didn't recover it anyway. So Guthrie will just decline this, and They'll take over around midfield.
Let's see. They're doing a lot of talking with number 4, and he has his head down. I wonder. Everybody's looking a little puzzled out there.
Officials are talking it over, and that will be the case as racers left a little early. So Guthrie will take over at around midfield. So if you're Newcastle now, again, it's not over because you saved your 2 timeouts. If you get a 3 and out here.
It looks like they're having them line up to do it again.
Yeah, you're right about that, Billy. I'm surprised by that. You
Totally
would think the
shocked.
penalty, and they're going to have him kick this again. I would think, and now Madrano's in there instead of Pfeiffer. They back it up from the 40 to 35. I'm surprised by this because you would think, and I apologize, hands up, people tuned in if I'm incorrect. You would think that you would decline that penalty.
Yes.
You take your recovery, but maybe it's not a declinable penalty like a false start. Admittedly, it hasn't come up. I don't know if since we've been doing this, I don't know if it's ever come up. But it looks like they're going to have a chance to kick this again. Madrano's back in there, though, and the way he's lined up looks like they might be kicking this deep, which doesn't make much sense. And he's going to kick a line drive. It goes off the hands. Oh, boy. And it's recovered by Guthrie, Amari Watson. So it was somewhere between an onside and a regular kickoff. He basically kicked a line drive about 20 yards down the field right at Amari Watson, who knocked it down like a catcher in baseball, basically, and then had to pounce on it. But it is going to be recovered by Guthrie at their own 44. I'm surprised that the Racers got a second chance at that. I don't know.
I am too.
That seems like either something went haywire or that's just a weird wrinkle in the rule book because it doesn't seem like they should have got a second crack at it. But they didn't get it, so no harm, no foul.
Well, it didn't seem like they wanted to take it, but had to or something.
So 1:38 to go. The Racers, if you can get a 3 and out, you will get one more shot, but you got to get a 3 and out first. 1st and 10, the run to Carlock, nothing.
Ooh.
Right up the gut, nowhere to go. It's a no gain, and the Racers will take that first time or their second time out of the game with 1:34 to go.
4 seconds came off the clock.
So doing clock math here, you figure another 5 seconds timeout, another 5 seconds and 40. They'll be able, if you go 3 and out, Guthrie would pump the ball with about 45 seconds-ish to go. And you said it, right before half, they scored in 36 seconds. That's probably going to be about what they're working with if they can get a 3 and out here with no timeouts and down by 5. Not a great chance, but it's a chance.
I feel like I have aged 3 years this season. Holy cow.
We've had some doozies this year.
Yes.
I think in the, you and I have been doing Racer football in OSN since 2020. So this is season 5, and I think if we did a top 10 of the best games that we've done, how many from this year? Like probably 3 or 4 at least from this season would be on that list. It's been a heck of a year for Newcastle. They've fortunately been on the right side of most of them. They got to find a way to do it one more time if they're going to extend their season to the state championship game next Saturday night.
Now, I keep thinking cash. This is what keeps going through my mind.
If you are, for those who know, 2020 cash, 2 onside kicks, 21-point comeback in about 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Never say never after seeing that thing. Second down, run here for Carlock. Again, not much. Did a good job to bounce outside. Carlock, he's got the first down and then some. Inside the 40, cutting back at the 30. Still on his feet. He dives down at the 25. There's a flag at the tail end of it. I think it's going to be on the tackle, but that should just about do it, depending on how this penalty goes. As Carlock, it was almost an identical play as the first down play, right up the middle. Nothing there, but then he just popped out of the abyss, the massive bodies. There was no one there. Now they're going to pick up and wave off the flag, but that is going to be just about all she wrote. I'm doing some quick clock math in my head here. I don't know if Newcastle can get the football back with 1:22 left. It's going to wind here in a moment once they set the chains, and that should be about it, I think.
Yeah, Newcastle just called their last time out.
Now you're just hoping for a miracle turnover, obviously. Like you said, Racers burned their last time out. With 1:22 to go, 2 kneels, and that's it.
I think Carlock ran into that expecting to be tackled. I don't know if you noticed.
He kind of did just take care
like
of the
he
ball.
Was surprised.
He
and
just
then
put 2 hands on the ball, and then he kind of got hit, but nobody tackled him. Yeah. So we'll see what Guthrie decides to do here, but at the 25-yard line, no timeouts. Again, 2 kneels, and this clock's going to roll off, and Guthrie's going to move on to the state championship game next Saturday night to face a familiar foe, presumably in Carl Albert. They were up big last we checked.
Yeah, they're up big. The final 28-7 over Del City.
What a machine!
Yeah, they probably yawned in the middle of it.
And honestly, those two teams met back on November 1st. Carl Albert winning that game. Wow, the 6A game is going to the wire overtime.
Yeah, if you've been with us, you know this. Josh's alma mater is Owasso, and they're up by 1 right now in overtime.
And it looks like Guthrie will, in fact, get to kneel on it here. So there's 1. As the Rice takes a shotgun snap and kneels it, they can run this down. And once it goes under 40, if they snap it again and get the kneel down without any funny business, that'll be it. Boy, Billy, heartbreaker for Newcastle here, obviously. And we'll wrap it up in the postgame show. But what an unbelievable season. And they went toe-to-toe tonight. This was a heck of a ball game, but Guthrie just a little bit better in the fourth quarter, especially on their Guthrie defense was unbelievable in the second half.
Adjustments that they made, their perfectly timed blitzes, just incredible. And if you're Newcastle, and maybe I'm speaking about 42 seconds too early, this has been a great season. You don't
phenomenal.
walk out of here hanging your head. You don't walk out of here thinking, man, we should have this or that. You walk out of here knowing that you played a great game, you've had a great season, and this is just season 1 in 5A.
So Guthrie takes the last knee, and that is it, as the clock will wind down, and that'll be all she wrote, as Guthrie Blue Jays, what an unbelievable, again, the funny thing is that this again, I'm not speaking for Guthrie. I know we have a lot of Guthrie folks tuned in. I know the play-by-play man out there, Chris Evans, phenomenal guy, does a phenomenal job. The kind of the sentiment, at least around the state, around 5A, was this was a down year for Guthrie. They're not as good this year, was the way people talked about them, and they're going to the state championship game. As we'll whip the camera around for the Guthrie folks, so they can see the post-game handshake as we're allowed to flip it around. And, boy, Billy, what an unbelievable season for the Racers. It's a shame it comes up short of getting a chance to at least go home with a silver ball, but obviously, and it hurts right now for the Racers and the players, but you have so little to be ashamed, to be upset. I mean, I'm not upset about it. I know this is going to sting, but what an unbelievable season for Newcastle. First year in 5A to go to the semis and be right there with a chance to get to the championship game, but in the end, Guthrie just a little bit better time. This was a very even game, but Guthrie just a little bit better, and that's all it takes in games like this.
Well, and I do not believe in, good losses at all, ever. But you got to look to next season with all these underclassmen.
Yeah.
You got to look at a lot of what you're taking in. There's a lot of stuff that you're taking in to next year. A lot of things to build off of. This has been a great team, great coaching, and you're going to take those coaches into next year as well. So, yes, this sucks. It's going to hurt a little bit. None of those guys down there want to be sitting on this side of the scoreboard. But I think there's a lot you're going to take into next year.
As the Racers, their final time talking to Coach Brickman down there in the post-game huddle. Obviously, an incredible season. It's been such a joy to be a part of it. We were, very much looking forward to and hoping to get to do this one more time next Saturday night in the state title game. But, man, I can't help but just feel like this. I mean, this is a season that, for the Racers, they're going to be remembered a long time. This was an unbelievable ride for Newcastle. This season was so much fun. That 1-3 start to go 8 straight wins. That semifinal win over Pryor is something, or a quarterfinal win is something I think is going to be remembered for a long time.
Yes.
To get to this point, and these guys will be remembered. And again, it stings and hurts right now. It's something they don't want to hear right now, and I don't blame them. We've all been there in high school sports, and especially for the seniors when it comes to an end. But unbelievable season, a heck of a ride, and you can't help but just feel anything but like these guys, nothing to hang their heads on. What an unbelievable run, unbelievable season. Win the district.
Yes.
And
the regional.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to be a part of all season long, and it stinks that it comes up a little bit short of where they wanted to go, but boy, what a season.
And these seniors, they left their mark, their tattoo, and their legacy on this team. I mean, you think about that first game when those captains went out for the flip, and you saw who they were, and Elcision and Smith and Heskew and all those guys going out there. You got to love it for them, and they've done a great job of putting their names in the foundation of it. Looks like we're going to be progressing and doing good next year as well, and this is the start of a program for Brickman. But yeah, you just got to hurt in the moment. I think there's no way you can say this does not hurt in the moment. So
twisting the knife for me, by the way. Bixby won and beat Owasso in overtime, 43-42 at 6-1. Wild night of high school football. We'll go ahead and step aside one more time here from Putnam City Pirates Stadium, and Billy and I will come back and we'll wrap it all up and wrap up the season on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. Postgame show next here on OSN.
Look up at our screen right here. That's our lifeblood. That's how we know what's going on at 14,700 foot.
Because you're completely blind otherwise.
That's correct.
People don't really understand the level of tech that's going on.
Yes, sir. Well, this whole thing is extremely high tech. I mean, just the ability to be able to drill down 13,000 feet and then put 90-degree turn in the well and then drill out another 3 miles.
It doesn't matter how casually you say it. It's a freaking miracle, man.
Yes, sir.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
Back at Putnam City Pirates Stadium, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier, on the Oklahoma Sports Network for the final time. Our Newcastle Racers pregame show. Guthrie knocks off Newcastle 35-30. Final thoughts, Billy, on this game. Obviously, we wrapped it up a bit there already, but this was a just a great game. I mean, it's a 5A semifinal. We're going in thinking that this is a evenly matched game. It felt like it could go either way, just a total coin flip spot. And, Guthrie they just a little bit better in the second half. Newcastle was a little bit better in the first half. Guthrie was a little bit better in the second half, and that proved to be the difference. Obviously, the big touchdown run by Dalen Rice, the really big play there when they pushed it to 11. But, what can you say? It was just one of those games that it was going to come down to who could just make the one big stop, the one big score, whatever it may be. And that was Guthrie tonight in this game as the Blue Jays get it done and get a big win.
Well, and you're right. It was an evenly matched game. We talked about before the game, you can't have the penalties. That's one thing that did hurt Newcastle tonight. But if you look at it, they lost this game on 3 long run plays.
Yeah.
That was where they lost it. They had every other play stitched up, but those 3 long run plays that ended up being touchdowns were the things that really just kind of took the air out of it. And so it's not like they came out here and just got beat all night. It's not like they came out here and didn't look good. They looked like they were going to, at halftime, I thought they were going to win.
Yeah.
They had just dominated that much of the game. Guthrie just made a couple more plays than Newcastle did, and that's how they walk away with the victory and get ready for next week.
Something that really sticks out to me, too, and we talked about it a little bit at halftime. We've got to mention it at the time, but the game started off. Newcastle jumped up 10-0 real quick. The first 6 minutes or so of this game, Newcastle really dominated. I mean, they came out really with a fast start, and it felt like, man, we're not going to say it, we won't admit, don't want to jinx the thing, but I think we both couldn't help but think in our heads, like, Newcastle might blow them out.
Right.
I mean, the way that they started, and they got Guthrie in that 4th and long, and that circus touchdown catch by Amari Watson made it 10-7, and it seemed like it really settled Guthrie in the game from there. Because early on, it felt like Newcastle jumped on them. They had all the confidence and momentum early. From that point on, it was a lot more back and forth. And who knows how it would have played out if that play doesn't happen. But that's kind of one of those freak plays that win against you in a big spot, and it's just, when you lose, you can't help but look back and think, how different would that game have been if that didn't happen?
Absolutely.
if he didn't catch that, the ball didn't bounce that way, and that's how all these close games are. You could circle one play, there's 20 other spots where you could say the same thing, but that was a play early in this game in the first quarter that really flipped a lot of this, it felt like to me. But,
well, and it looked like they were kind of little deer in the headlights, being down 10-0.
Yeah.
And I think they don't make that catch. They're still down 10-0, but once they made that touchdown, they thought, okay, it's only 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 3. We got this. And I think you're right. I think that put a little bit of muscle in them, a little bit of fire in them. Just a great game. We've had so many great games.
Yeah.
This year.
Newcastle's been on the right side of pretty much all of them until tonight.
Yep.
That's how it goes. Obviously an incredible season. And for Guthrie, on to the 5A championship game, a familiar foe in Carl Albert, someone they see very often. And for any Blue Jays fans who are tuned in and hung out tonight, you can do so again next Saturday night. The Carl Albert broadcast will do what we did tonight, have an audio presentation of the game for anyone who can't get out to UCO next Saturday night. So keep an eye out for that on the Oklahoma Sports Network. As for Newcastle, Billy, obviously incredible season. Doesn't really even do it justice. I feel like we've got to the end of these seasons the last few years and kind of felt like Newcastle left a little meat on the bone where it was, felt like they had more in them. And it feels that way again tonight, but also at the same time kind of feels like they got everything out of this season they could have hoped. I mean, first year in 5A, they win the district. You get 2 playoff games at home and you win them both. You were this close in the semifinals to get to the state title game and playing for a gold ball in your first year in 5A. You don't have that. It hurts and it stinks and it's kind of sad that it's over, but it feels a little different this time than the last few years where it was this season. Boy, this was such an accomplishment. This season and this run is something I think a lot of fans will remember. So it's hard not to – it's hard in the moment, but it feels it's kind of one of those you appreciate it for what it was. This was a heck of a season.
Yes. Only 2 games this season was Newcastle not in it. Only 2 games.
Right.
All the other games, they're in it. And so you're looking at –
even the Tuttle game, I mean, they were in it for a long while. Couldn't get the offense going, but the defense played great. Yeah.
So again, it's not a hang your hat time. And you're right. This stinks. But I'll be honest with you, ending this season, I'm looking forward to next season.
I'm fired up for next season.
If you'll let me join you.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm fired up. This is the most, at the end of the year, I think most I've looked forward to the next season. With what they did in 5A this year, you're excited about the pieces they have come back. They're losing some big, heavy hitter guys. Yes. Jackson Shane, obviously the headliner at quarterback, Rex Heskew, Big Tosh Smith, Aiden Ilcision. I mean, there are big names that are going to have to replace. That's how it is every year.
Trey Burchett.
But some of these young guys, the way they played, TJ Bradford back. We'll see who the starting quarterback is next year. Caden Lawman certainly seems like a logical, whether it's Ashton Schumard, certainly. We'll see how that shakes out at the quarterback spot. But there's a lot of pieces here to be really excited about for next year, it feels like.
Boykins.
Boy, he came on, man. He feels like he's set up for a big year. Yeah.
Cragg, I believe, is a junior. There are just some guys that just are incredible coming up. Oh, he's a senior?
Yeah.
Well, good luck to you, sir. But
we'll see you in another life. Yeah.
But, no, just a lot of players coming back that got some good time to kind of play 5A this year. It is. There's some excitement coming back next year.
Yeah, Thomas Barbie will be back. Scagnetti will be back. Yes, Scagnetti's actually just a sophomore, believe it or not. Wow. So, yeah, there's a lot of pieces of this team there that'll be back, and we're excited for that. But obviously for the seniors, what a run for those guys. And
y'all did great.
What a season.
Man, y'all were incredible all season. Enjoyed getting to hang out with you the few times I got to. You guys were great, and thank y'all very much.
I want to thank everyone again. It's been awesome to do this. This is our 5th season, Billy and I, and Newcastle's on OSM before, so I don't want to speak to that iteration of it. But since we've been doing it, I feel like this was like our best season yet in terms of the operation. Obviously, Brent Hodges, the athletic director, has been phenomenal for us, helping us. Newcastle's had a few different ADs since we've been doing this, and Brent, not to, trying to dump on the other ADs by any means. Everyone's been very helpful, but Brent this year I feel like really set us up for success as well as he could, and it was an awesome season. I mean, it was really great this year. I think of all of our sponsors, of course, that helped us do these games, and we traveled all the road games as always, and Gene Reed, who stepped in a few times and is a massive help, does the coaches show on Tuesdays. Can't thank him enough.
Him and Gerald, yeah.
And he was maybe in line to maybe slide in for the state title game because you were a little wishy-washy. If you'd be able to make it, don't have to worry about that now. But, yeah, I mean, there's so many people that help us do it and help us get these broadcasts going. So it was an awesome season, and this was my favorite one yet, I think.
Mine too. And just thanks to all the sponsors. Thanks, Coach Brickman. Like you said, Mean Gene. There's so many people that you probably don't know that help bring this. We're all sponsor-driven, and so be sure and thank your sponsors for letting us have just an incredible year. And I'm the same with you. I say the same thing to you every year. Don't let me ruin your career. And I think this year we've had a lot of fun, and we hope that you at home see how much fun we're having with the football game and can join in with that emotion and then listen to us and appreciate all of y'all as well.
Absolutely. Awesome season. It was a blast. We wish we could do it one more time, but only 2 teams get to do that, and only one team gets to hold the goal ball at the end. It won't be Newcastle this year, but time is coming. This program is on the move, and what an unbelievable first year in 5A. I don't know. Nobody in the state of Oklahoma had Newcastle putting together this kind of season, and it was a lot of fun to get to be a part of, be along for the ride throughout the year. I think that's it. It was an awesome run. It was an awesome season. Of course, Uriah Martinez wasn't here tonight. Our camera operator didn't have a need for a camera operator tonight. Was phenomenal all season. Big thanks to him for his contributions. Of course, Carson Wade, the producer, another phenomenal season for him. Does a great job. Makes it a lot easier for me. It's a weight off. He knows what he's doing over there. It's just I don't have to even worry about it during the games. It's really I can just focus on calling the game. Right. And again, it's not. I'm not just saying that. Very, very nice. He does a great job, as always. So, Billy, it's great working with you again. Awesome season.
I enjoy it.
And we move on. We press on to year 6, 2025.
Yes.
Next year. It's crazy.
Wow, I can't believe it's already a quarter of a century.
I know,
gone.
it's nuts. We're just zooming.
Nuts.
Not a quarter of a century.
2025.
Oh, I thought you were saying for us, like 6 years.
No.
I was like, we got a ways to go to get to a quarter of a century.
No, a quarter of a century. I don't think. Carson, were you around a quarter of a century ago?
No.
No, I have.
That question,
I have loved doing this. I enjoy this, and y'all don't realize it. And Josh is going to hate me saying this because it'll sound so unprofessional. He makes you look good. And there's some times that I said some things, and if you could have seen him behind the camera, you would know he made me look good. So I really appreciate you, Josh.
I appreciate it.
You're the one that has really studied this and knows your stuff, and I'm just glad you bring us along for the ride.
A lot of fun, and we'll be back next year. Obviously, keep an eye out for the OSN Awards Banquet in February. We'll obviously have an official date for that later. That's not till February, but that's a kind of a fun way to put a final bow on the football season. We'll see how those awards shake out, but like I said, if I have any say, Coach Brickman will be a finalist for Coach of the Year, so hopefully people can tune into that in February as we kind of get to celebrate the end of this football season. We will have the 5A title game next week and an audio broadcast with the Carl Albert guys, obviously against these Blue Jays for anyone interested in that. Maybe too painful for some, I don't know. Yeah. But that'll be around next Friday if you want to hang out with Kirk Norman and the Carl Albert crew next Friday. And, of course, keep an eye out for basketball season. We're going to have more basketball on the network, I think, than ever before this season. We're very excited for that. And we're going to have Racer basketball on OSN at least a handful of times in the regular season. Obviously, postseason, we'll worry about that when we get there. But keep an eye out for that as well, as yours truly will be getting out to some basketball games for Newcastle this winter as well. So that's kind of all what's next. But any final remarks? Kind of always weird when you sign up for the last time of the season. It's like, was there anything? Did I forget anything?
No. I think just I can take a breath now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It was awesome, and I hope we do it again next year. But still having the games in December is crazy. Normally, I mean, by now I'm on to basketball. I'm doing other things. The fact that this week it felt almost weird that, for my other job, OU was done other than the bowl game, and I still had another Newcastle game to get ready for. Like, my week is, like, weird, but it was great. It was awesome. A great run, great season, a lot of fun. That's it. Again, Uriah Martinez not here, but thank him for his work all season long, big part of the team. Gene Reed, of course, another huge part of the team all season long as well. Did a great job with the coaches show. Carson Way on the production. Billy Collier, my partner. I'm Josh Calloway, signing off from Putnam City Pirate Stadium. Guthrie knocks off Newcastle 35-30 through to the 5A title game next Saturday night against Carl Albert. For the final time this season, we appreciate everyone who tuned in all season long, 13 games. We had them all for you on OSN. We'll be back next August for the 2025 season. Until then, good night, everybody. We'll see you then for the Newcastle Racers football on OSN.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.